It's time to sit back and check out the RCWR Show with Lee Sanders. Get fun, in-depth coverage and analysis from the latest in professional wrestling in AEW, WWE, NWA, Impact Wrestling, or the world of entertainment. From hit TV shows to your favorite sports like the NBA or NFL. All things music, movies, and beyond, while trying to make sense of this crazy world we live in. All while keeping it honest, insightful, and interactive since 2011. And now your hosts, live from the nation's capital of Washington, D.C., Lee Sanders.
Hey, my pretty babies, what is going on? Lee Sanders with you guys for this Monday night of November 18th, 2024. We are joining WWE RAW in progress. We got Nia Jax, Sonya Deville, Liv Morgan in the ring right now. Nia telling Sonya, the champ, don't think nothing about you at all. Hey, we're officially tonight celebrating our 13th anniversary of the RCWR show. So we're going to be here doing the watch along, and we'll talk some little stuff in between. We'll also do the regular show after Raw goes off the air, full of some nice fun news. Of course, I will share my thoughts on the Mike Tyson Jake Paul fight that went down. So we got Liv Morgan, we got Sonya Deville, we got Nia Jax. Looks like we've also, man, this party's getting bigger and bigger. We got the tag champs in Bianca Belair, Jade Cargill, Naomi. Who else is in there? We got Tiffany Stratton in the ring there with Team Nia Jax. And it looks like we got Candice LeRae. Isn't Candice LeRae the current speed champion? So it looks like they're setting up a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It looks like they're trying to set up here a 10-woman tag match maybe for later tonight. We got Io Sky, who just joined Jade, Bianca, and Naomi. I mean, but there's only 4 of them. So there's 5 in the ring right now for pretty much Team Liv Morgan, but Team Bianca Belair is short just 1. Does maybe Becky Lynch make her return? Yeah, Liv is literally counting right now. Now, see, if it was me, I would give a serious rub off to Lyra Valkyria, because that girl's been needing a serious rub for the longest. Ever since Becky Lynch disappeared, that girl has just been floating and struggling, man. I haven't been feeling that. Have not been feeling that whatsoever. Wait, what? Are you serious? Whoa, let's go. Rhea Ripley is the 5th. She's wearing the NBA mask. She's wearing the NBA protective mask. Oh man, she looked like she came in there ready to fight. War Games. Rhea Ripley just came in there and said War Games and headbutted the hell out of Liv Morgan. Hey, I'm all right with that. Oh damn, Liv Morgan got some nice little Daisy Dukes on. Woo. Ooh, that is spicy. That is spicy. Run, Liv, run. Run, Liv, run. Okay, so this is great for War Games. This is great for War Games, but let's not also forget, we got that new Women's United States Championship that was just announced. Hopefully we'll learn a lot more. Didn't we just see the brackets? Yeah, we saw the brackets revealed for that and everything. Don't worry, we'll cover it. We'll talk more about that during the night tonight. All right, nice little opener. What is up with the woman and the shirt she's wearing behind Joe Tessitore and Wade Barrett? It looked like somebody's got their handprints over her chest. If you guys are watching Raw, you'll see who I'm talking about. Yeah, we need more on her. Cute little, I think she's a cute little thick thing, but I have not seen the face yet. Yeah, we're here celebrating our 13th anniversary of the RCWR show. This show started November of 2011. I cannot believe it's 13 years later. My God, how time flies, man. So we're going to be celebrating all night long while we're doing the Raw watch along before going into our regular edition of the RCWR show. Definitely going to be talking about the Mike Tyson Jake Paul fight, talk some wrestling news. Apparently Cody Rhodes, I don't know if you want to say dropping a bombshell piece of news, but dropping interesting news contrary to some of the reports that was being put out there about The Rock and what potentially is going to be happening with him and his participation for WrestleMania. Speaking of The Rock, his new movie, Red One, not doing too good. Lots that we'll definitely be getting into right on this show. So you picked a good night to tune in and everything. And if anybody's going to ask, am I taking donations? Because I know we got the super chat thing that's like disabled via YouTube. Yes, I am taking donations. If you wish to make a contribution, you want to say congrats on 13 years, check out the links in the episode description. Hook you guys up. We're getting a recap of, oh, wow. So Solo Sikoa was able to acquire the services of Bronson Reed. I didn't watch SmackDown. Nice. You got Bronson Reed. Bronson Reed has joined the bloodline, Solo Sikoa's bloodline. That fits like a freaking perfect glove. I love that. I love that. Yo, I eats that. That's what's up. That's what's up. And I think, meanwhile, the original bloodline, or as I like to call them, bloodline original, they still have not quite figured out who their fifth man is going to be. Maybe it's going to be Seth Rollins. We'll see. Don't forget, tonight's Raw, we got that main event between Rollins and Bronson Reed. So that should be good. All right, we got the LWO coming out, but the question is, who's going to be representing? Oh, there's going to be some mixed tag team action. It's going to be the team of Rey Mysterio and Zelina Vega. That should be good. That should be good. Zelina Vega, man. Ooh, muy fuego. Muy fuego. Cuter and cuter. She had, body-wise, she has really matured, has she not? I can remember a time when she was just a tiny, skinny little thing, and I'm sure she'll probably admit this as well. She had like the most hugest head. And I don't mean ego-wise. She just had like the hugest head, tiny little frame, and now she's really filled out. So coming up next, it looks like we're gonna see Chad Gable and Ivy now taking on Zelina and Rey Mysterio as we are underway to a commercial break for this 13th anniversary show edition of the RCWR show. Lee Sanders with you guys. Those of you that's tuning in, we're doing our anniversary show. So part of how we're celebrating, we're doing a watch along. And after the show is over, we're going to go into our regular show, cover a wide range of topics. I'm feeling pretty good, man. I got some really good energy that is going on here. You know what? I did not hit the record button on my mixer, but that's actually okay because I think the most important thing is record the main show, the post show. That's the important thing. I think if anybody wants to really go out of their way and check out, the entirety, they can just go on YouTube and the other outlets that we got set up. Hope your week was pretty good. I know for some of you all that saw the Mike Tyson Jake Paul fight, maybe that kind of put a nice dent into your weekend. Yeah, it's kind of one of those, not what I was expected. That is a understatement. But hopefully, regardless, overall, your weekend was pretty good. Week's going off to a pretty good start for you. On my week, going off fantastic. I actually today, as a matter of fact, began, and I'm going to be doing it for the next couple of weeks until the end of my semester, my college semester. I began hosting a live radio show. I'm doing a live radio show where I'm covering rock music from yesterday and today while mixing it in with talk as well. It's called Rocked with Lee Sanders. I had a lot of fun today. I wasn't on the air for as long as I anticipated because by the time I got done catching up on some previous assignments related to the radio show and I actually went live on the air, there were some tech issues that I did not anticipate. And then just when I thought I was going to be able to make up the time, because man, we started doing the show live on campus radio. It was live on campus. Started doing. Matter of fact, if you go on X, formerly known as Twitter, at the RCWR show, I posted a 3-minute clip. You can actually see me in the studio, and what you're watching in the studio, that's me live in progress and everything. But by the time I got done with all the tech issues, and it was going okay, now we can do the show. We were off to a great start. And then there was a couple of more tech issues that went down. Long story short, what was supposed to be a 2-hour show ended up being only a 40-minute show. So I was greatly disappointed. I have a feeling that my professor is probably going to go, okay, well, you got a road mixer, professional equipment, and all that at home, right? Yeah. Okay. Well, just for this week only, merge what you did in the studio with what you got going on with your equipment at home, complete the show that way. But next week, now that you know what you know, because I'm pretty sure she's going to go, well, you got the gist, you know what you're doing now, right? I'm like, yeah. Okay, well then I have a feeling that's what she's probably going to say to me. I'll know by tomorrow morning because we all are going to meet up tomorrow morning. We're still on commercial breaks from WWE RAW at this 72-hour odor commercial from Secret. Seeing a commercial plug for this new comedy show. It does seem like it's The Office, St. Dennis Medical. I gotta watch that. It actually looks pretty good. Eagles Rams this Sunday Night Football. All right, we're back. Yeah, that was pretty cool. Travis Scott, Triple H this past weekend. That was pretty cool. Oh, he handed him the hardcore championship. Yo, if he handed him the hardcore championship, he got to defend that joint anytime, any place. First Raw, don't forget, Monday, January 6th, Los Angeles, California. Tickets go on sale this Friday. Pre-sale this Wednesday through Ticketmaster. Again, that pre-sale this Wednesday. Tickets go on sale to the general public this Friday. Los Angeles, California. Don't ask me if I'm going to try to do it. No, I'm not. I'm letting you know that right now. No. That timing is really, really bad, too, because I am literally going to be studying for the next semester of classes. So that definitely ain't happening. That is so funny, yo, that Rey Mysterio and Zelina Vega, how they just chilling in the corner the whole time. I feel so bad. Seriously, I feel so bad for wrestlers when they come out and they aren't getting right into their match. They're just sitting there through the commercials. Then they're sitting there through some video packages. Heaven forbid, there's an interview backstage. They're sitting through that as well. All right, here we go. Ivy now. Chad Gable. Look, man, I know this is an intergender mixed tag match, but yo, I'm trying to see Rey Mysterio and Ivy now just for a hot minute. Just for a hot minute. I'm trying to see them one-on-one. I still remember 2 weeks ago. Matter of fact, they're showing the replay right now when Rey Mysterio came out after Ivy now was choking the hell out of Zelina Vega, and she released that hold and backed off. I'm like thinking, wait a minute, you got muscle, you as big as Ray. Like, why are you backing off? I even said it on the post show, if you guys remember. I said, no, she shouldn't be backing off. She should actually be getting in the face of Rey Mysterio going, and what? So, okay, Ivy just smacked the hell out of Zelina. And we got him tumbling. Looks like they're taking it out. Okay, so our legal participants is Chad and Ray right now, while Zelina and Ivy are fighting on the outside in this mixed tag match. Ray off the ropes. Nice hurricanrana. Very good. Nice kick to the chin. Ray on top of Chad in the corner, delivering a couple of right hands to the temple. Like Ivy caused enough of a distraction to trip the hell out of Ray. Was Chad able to trip him up pretty good on the ropes there? Now they're both ganging up on him. Good stuff. Good stuff. Come on, Ivy. Love that Ivy. Ivy is such a badass, man. She's really coming around. I gotta give her a lot of props. She's really coming around. Rey Mysterio strong whipped into the corner, crashes on his back. Chad going for the cover, hook leg. Ray kicks out. Ray strong whipped into the corner again, catches Gable with an elbow. Gable stops him from climbing to the top rope. Looks like both of them almost went tumbling to the floor, but Ray caught the best of it. All right, Zelina's been tagged. She's now the legal woman, legal participant. So yeah, the way this is operating, women, once they're tagged, women are fighting the women, but I still want to see Ivy now do some stuff. I still want to see her do some stuff. We got Zelina going for a cover. Kick out at one, it looked like there. Zelina's thinking three amigos. Okay, let's see if you can do it, honey. No, denied. Nice counter there by Ivy. Nice short clothesline by Ivy now. Good stuff. Good stuff. That's good. Good job, Ivy. Good job. Oh, girl, really coming around, man. Personality and all that. Yeah, she's really blossoming. I gotta give her a lot of props. All right, so we're going into another set of commercial breaks there. All right, good stuff. So yeah, aren't you guys glad that Raw is now 2 hours? I mean, seriously, it's such a breath of fresh air. It really is, because by the time you get done really biting into what you're getting from the show, it's over. So like before you can even get to a position where maybe you might start to say to yourself, this is kind of dragging, or okay, I think this is as good as it gets. Wish we could kind of stop right here. It does. So I think that's really cool how they got it set up. Hey, have you guys started your Christmas shopping yet? I know some of you guys are like, Lee, mom, dog, I'm just trying to get through freaking Thanksgiving. But no, let me tell you something. And I had to learn this the hard way. Wifey started asking me about Thanksgiving as far back as the start of September. And she goes, so What's our plans for Thanksgiving? What do you want to do? And you know what I said to her? My exact words. I said to her, man, don't be talking to me about Thanksgiving right now. Like, man, I'm like getting into the first couple of weeks of my new semester. Oh, they got the Craven the Hunter trailer. Okay, so this is coming out on December 13th. Oh, they got Russell Crowe in that joint. Okay. I did not know that. I did not know Russell Crowe was going to be in Craven the Hunter. Okay. Well, that should be pretty good then. Okay. Look, if Russell Crowe's in it, it's got to be at least decent. So I'm looking forward to that. Okay, December 13th. All right. I don't quite know if I'm going to pay to see it in theaters. I got a friend that actually works at the movie theater, and anytime I want to go, it's not no five-finger discount. Like, he gets X amount of tickets each month for himself and friends and family. I think he gets like access to 4 or 6 tickets. So I'm gonna actually see if I can hit him up and get the hook up that way for Craven the Hunter. So, because like the way I feel right now, it's like I love the Craven the Hunter character, but man, with the bad string of Sony releases for the comic book heroes, it's been yeah, it's been a little rough. That reminds me, I have not seen the new Venom yet either, but I'm seeing a lot of mixed reviews for that one. So I don't know. We'll see how that goes. But look, if Russell Crowe's in it, it can't be that bad, right? It's got to be fairly decent. We'll see. But getting the plug for SmackDown. For this Friday. As our in-ring action continues, we got Ivy now. Nice headlock secured there on Zelina. Let's turn the volume back up here. Nice overhead suplex for a kick out. Let's see what we got. Come on, Ivy. You know what I just realized? This is the first match for tonight, too, to open up the show. This is pretty good, actually. Zelina looking for the tag. She trying, but Ivy's on top of her, denying her that accessibility. Zelina trying to come in with a forearm strike, but Ivy ain't letting it go. Ivy coming in with another forearm strike. She's almost got the tag. Oh, beautiful counter. Wow, Chad ran in there. He's grabbing the leg of Zelina. He's like, no, you ain't getting that tag. Nice. But she still managed to get the tag. Good stuff. Got Ray coming in white hot. Ray sent into the ropes. Nice counter. And boom. Another Hurricanrana. Rey Mysterio in that fountain of youth, yo. My God. Nice up and over. Shoulder thrust into the midsection by Ray. Ray to the top. Nice West Coast pop. Going for an inside cradle. 1, 2. Chad kicks out. Match continues. It's actually been pretty good. I like this one. It's actually been a pretty good match. Chad sent it to the ropes. Ray counters. Going off the ropes. Oh, that did not. Oh. What the hell was that? Ray kicks out. Y'all that's tuning in, you're checking out the 13th anniversary edition of the RCWR show. We're officially celebrating our 13th anniversary. I got communications on a certain setting, do I not? Give me a minute. I'll change them. talking specifically to my YouTube audience. I'll change it. Give me a second. So part of the celebration, we're doing a live watch along for tonight's Monday Night Raw. And then once Raw's in the books, we're going to do our regular show that we do. Zelina with a Hurricanrana on Chad Gable. Ivy now coming in there, but Zelina sends her in between the ropes to crash. Ray coming off the ropes. Gable with a kick out. Lord have mercy. Oh, dial it up. 619. Here it comes. Is it going to connect, though? Trying to dial. And he connects. Nice splash over the ropes. Follows that up. Ray Zelina got the win. That's it. That's all she wrote. Yeah, give me a chance, guys. I'll, for my YouTube audience, I'll adjust that setting right now. I usually do that randomly. Sometimes I do it. And then when I do adjust the settings, I'll do it in a way where sometimes it could just be like a year, or it could be a month, or it could be, it just depends on my mood. But let me go ahead and disable that. That's actually a fun opener of a match there. Good stuff right there. Nice. Very nice. Okay. Oh, Chad's pissed off. He's looking at the Creed brothers. He just pushed them off. Oh, he's smacking the hell out of them too. Oh, he smacked him again. Chad's like, do you think I like losing? I'm not a loser. What the hell? Damn. All right, so the Creed brothers were about to beat the crap out of each other, and Chad Gable's like, yeah, that's what I want to see from you guys every single week. That's what I've been looking for. All right, whatever, dude. That was kind of weird. Oh, no, now we're going to Judgment Day, who once again got the WWE game playing in the background. Look like they got Balor talking. Balor's offering help. Poor family. Oh, I see what Finn Balor's doing. Finn is up to no damn good. He dirty. He is dirty. I didn't catch the name of the opponents. Who is Finn Balor? Finn Balor's playing in a dangerous game. I didn't catch the name of the tag team there. Okay, so Balor apparently went up to Dirty Dom and Carlito and was mentioning some guys. He was like, Dirty Dom. He's like, yo, I saw what you did last week or whatever. He's like, you almost single-handedly defeated Damian Priest there, like, which is why I don't know. Maybe Damian Priest is one of the tag team opponents for the main event tonight. But basically, Balor was like, go for the neck. Let me give you a good piece of advice. Go for the neck. You're the great Dominik Mysterio. Like, you got this. He was hyping him up big time. And Dom just inhaled the hell out of that. playing to the ego there. Balor playing a dangerous game. I think to the point even JD McDonough kind of realizes what's going on because he wanted to talk to him, and Balor's like, yeah, we could talk. Let's go talk over here. So we didn't get a chance to see what's going on with that conversation. Oh my God, that is insane. All right, so let me adjust that setting for folks on YouTube here. Oh yeah, and the best part, we're going to open up the phone lines. We are going to open up the phone lines. So for those that want to call in and everything, be able to do so. Matter of fact, I'll make sure I put the phone number in the episode description. And then for those that aren't really in a position where they can look at the episode description, I'll be saying the number and everything. But let me first adjust this joint here. Let's see. Yes. Yes. Okay. All right. So that filter should have changed now. So should be good. And then let me go into details. Well, we got a commercial break. I'm just going to go in and in the episode description, I'm just going to put in the phone number. Because I know a couple of people had said they were going to try to call into the show. So let's see here. Figure out where that. I think it's. Let's see here. I don't think it's that one. I'm looking for my number. It's the number on here. Goddamn pop-up ads. Let's see. Once I can figure this out, I'll be good to go, y'all. Give me a second here. Well, I'll tell you what, let's do this. There we go. There we go. All right, got it. All right, let's put that number in there. And the way I'm going to do this, so the number is in the episode description. And the way that I'm going to do this, anybody that tries calling in, I'm actually going to pre-screen first. So you may hear silence, but you'll see me and everything. I'm just going to be on mute, or I'm going to have this muted, but you still have visuals while I am pre-screening and all that good stuff. Looks like we're getting a recap of what all had went down with Karrion Kross, Final Testament, and the Wyatt Six. Okay, so Miz showing his true colors. Okay, so he is fully in with the Testament. Okay.
Jumpstart Marine 7 needed. Marine 7, Jake Carter lives. Who should direct? Scorsese, Fincher. Tarantino's final bill. Eye for an eye.
Miz is talking about Marine 7. What the hell? Don't you wish that evil on us, dude? Seriously. Yo, I never thought I'd say this. The team of Karrion Kross and Miz is actually clicking. It's actually clicking. Ah, so that's the woman that's got the little stuff on her chest. Got the little handprints on her chest. She's actually kind of cute. Yeah, she's actually cute. I can't think of her name, but she reminds me of that girl that's got the talk show, the syndicated talk show. She's a tiny little thing. She's a big wrestling fan. She's a sister. I wish I knew her name. Some of you guys, now that you heard that, you probably know who I'm talking about. She's dark skinned, tiny little thing. She looks like she's probably 5 feet tall. Getting a recap of Damian Priest laying out Ludwig Kaiser. Conversation there that Damian was having with Gunther. How'd I miss that? How'd I miss that? Damian Priest took off his shirt and was pushing a Bad Bunny t-shirt showing some upcoming tour dates. How'd I miss that last week? Ludwig wanted to know why Gunther did what he did last week. Gunther telling him straight up, you don't speak for me. Go out there, make a name for yourself. Speak for yourself. He just told him from now on, stand as your own man.
Schau mir in die Augen. Look into my eyes. What do you see? Do you still see the old ring general?
It's asking if you see the old ring general.
100%. Nothing has changed.
Guys are saying, of course, nothing has changed. Damian Priest thinks he's gotten under my skin. Not at all. He's nuts. Gunther just talked a good game, but now he's taking off his jacket. He's looking a little intimidated or whatever. Like he's trying to hype himself up at the same time. Ha! Yeah, he jumped Damian from behind while Damian was doing some autographs. Damian's at the table, whole bunch of stuff that he's trying to autograph. He just hit him with a lead pipe. Damian just hit him with a lead pipe. Damian just gave Gunther props. He's like, hey, in the ring, you a king, but on the no, he said in the ring, you're a general, but on these streets, I'm a king. That's some good trash talking. That's some good trash talking. I love that. Well, that backfired. That backfired. Oh, we're going into. Oh, this should be a good match. This should be a good matchup. We're getting Sheamus versus. Oh my God. Name will come to me in a hot second, but this should be a good one. Sheamus looking good, man. He's actually shed a decent amount of that weight off, man. He's looking pretty good. That's right. Sheamus is for the Intercontinental Championship. Braun Breaker. Yeah, this should be the match of the night. Those of you that's tuning in, checking out the 13th anniversary edition of the RCWR show. Lee Sanders with you guys for this Monday night, November 18th, 2024. We're about a week and a half before Thanksgiving. Yeah, let me finish that Thanksgiving story. I said to the wifey, though, I said September, beginning of September. She hits me up. She goes, "So, what do you want to do for Thanksgiving?" I said, "Man, don't you be talking to me about no damn Thanksgiving. It's only September. I ain't talking about no damn Thanksgiving." Nah, they go into a commercial break. That's all good. That means we'll get the match in its entirety. I'm all right with that. I said, "Man, I'm thinking about a whole bunch of other stuff besides Thanksgiving." I said, "Ask me when it gets a little bit closer." And then literally, she said to me last week, "So, what do you want to do for Thanksgiving?" Still don't know what to do for Thanksgiving. Still don't know what to do for Thanksgiving. So, yeah, it's always good to get that stuff out the way early. So, probably what's going to end up happening. I know my father-in-law, he's actually going with the Popeyes Thanksgiving dinner. So that should be interesting. He's getting the bird and all. So that should be interesting. But that's for, my father-in-law. He lives with uh I guess you can call him a friend. I don't personally like the guy. I got my own respected reasons, but that's a meal that, him and those guys over there that they're gonna have. I think I'm gonna end up, because me and the wife are talking about it. We're gonna do a couple of Bob Evans sides, some mac and cheese, some mashed potatoes. Actually, not their mac and cheese. Their mac and cheese is too buttery. Probably end up picking up some type of Kraft mac and cheese. Not the crap that's in the box with the powder. I'm talking about the actual real good stuff. Probably do that. Get a little small Purdue rotisserie chicken. Probably do that. If anything, make some deviled eggs. I want to switch it up as far as desserts go, because I'm kind of tired of the pies. We always do pies. I want to switch it up and do something that's a little bit healthier. So I was proposing a homemade fruit jello. Make the jello, but take some fruit, like maybe put some grapes in it, put some mangoes, put some strawberries, chop it up and everything. Do like a fruit cocktail. Basically you're having a jello fruit cocktail. And you know, wifey put the Sour Patch face on. I'm like, what? I'm like, that's actually good. Like, not to mention it's a healthier option. And she's like, yeah, but I'm like, I know it's not pie, but like, come on. He's like, well, I don't mind not having pie, but I don't want that. I said, well, I'm gonna make it regardless. So I was like, you dig in, you dig in. You don't, it's all good. So that's what I'm gonna do. So I'm excited to see how that plays out. Have you guys got started on your Christmas shopping? I know I asked you guys about that earlier. Have y'all got started on your Christmas shopping? If not, you better do it now. I have a feeling that things is going to be banana crazy leading up to Christmas. Seriously. So get on top of it now. I watched a news report the other day that was talking about how people, anticipation of the holiday season, how they're shopping and everything, right? But some of the stuff that's been coming to their homes, it's been greatly damaged. Like, there was this one woman that ordered this really nice entertainment cabinet, and it wasn't assembled or anything. Obviously she had to do all that herself, but main point, when it came to her home, it was greatly damaged. And I mean, certain corners of the box was, it got damaged in transit, it looks like. And as a result of that, like, the frame itself got messed up big time. Some of the people that they interviewed had to return. Oh, plug for CM Punk. What's going on here? Oh, t-shirt joint. Yeah, I gotta ask the question again. Where the hell is CM Punk? We have not seen CM Punk since, my God, that joint, that epic joint with Drew McIntyre. It's like, okay, all right, bye, thanks. No CM Punk since. Remember what I pitched last week? I said, what if CM Punk ends up being a member, but now that they've done what they've done, with Bronson Reed. I can't help but wonder if we just might get Seth Rollins with the Bloodline original after all. So it looks like it's the Viking Raiders. It's Carlito and Dom Mysterio that's going to be taking on the Viking Raiders later on tonight, I'm assuming. Nice plug for WWE Supercard. I'm enjoying season 11 so far. I don't know if you guys have picked up season 11 yet. You started playing it, but it's been pretty good so far. I tried playing what is it? Boom. That's a new game mode. Boom. I tried playing it. It's okay, but you really got to have a strong card deck. You really got to have a strong deck if you're trying to get, consecutive wins and all that. That is key. That is key. I can tell that right now. It seems like if I were to play 10 games of that mode, I'm lucky if I can win 2 back to back. Because remember, for those of you that don't know, the game mode, as we see Braun Breaker coming out here, the current IC champion, the way boom mode works, try saying that 10 times fast, boom mode. The way that game mode of boom works, the more consecutive wins you're able to string together, the better the rewards. So, and if you think maybe you're going to be able to force restart, no, that's, as far as I know, that's not going to work. That's not going to work. So you really got to have a strong deck when you go into that joint. So my best advice right now would be to stay away from that mode, because when you stop and think about it, I agree with some of my fellow supercard gamers that's out there too. Like, wait a minute, 5 new tiers? It's like you just hit us with 5 new tiers. You're barely giving us a chance to catch up. Like, what the hell? I get where some of the people are coming from. I can understand a lot of those frustrations. But at the same time, they've made it super friendly to get your deck caught up to date pretty fast. Boom mode definitely helps with that. The slight tweak that they've done to campaign mode. By the way, that Liv Morgan card that they've got available in Wild Campaign mode, pretty sweet. Pretty sweet. All right, we got not Bronson Reed, but we got Bron Breakker. We got him and Sheamus underway now. I'm really glad that Bronson Reed got the IC championship back, but he honestly shouldn't have lost it in the first place. Hindsight being 2020 and everything, I know that the argument is made that Bloodline interfered there a little bit. It pretty much cost him the IC title. And you could definitely make an argument they could have gone in a different direction. But all things considered, I'm okay with how it all panned out. Black Curse backbreaker by Sheamus there. Sheamus with another one. Kick out at one. Ron Breaker. Yeah, it's a good strategy earlier on here. Seems like Sheamus is going for injury to the lower back there. Breaker with a nice little back counter of his own. They getting physical in this one. I'm loving this. Breaker with some nice shots to the midsection. Closed fist and all. Wow. Breaker over the announcer's table with a nice clothesline. Yeah, both men are down as the action continues. Getting into another set of commercials. All right, you guys are checking out the 13th anniversary edition of the RCWR show. Lee Sanders with you guys for this November 18th of 2024. So we're doing a live watch along right now, and then we're going to get into the regular show soon as Raw is off the air. Gotta see what's going on here as far as okay, so that's some interesting news. That's not really too bad. I'm looking at what's going on in preparation for later tonight. I'm looking at what's going on with Red One. So Red One has taken the throne at number 1 with $34 million. So again, the film charted number 1 with $34.1 million, beating its $30 million expectations coming into the weekend. Believe it or not, despite how X amount of money, I mean, 'cause we're talking a couple of $100 million for the budget, and then for marketing, despite the fact that this film has brought in a little bit over $30 million, basically beating its expectations from over the weekend, it's still a better result, apparently. But it's quickly being pointed out that it ranks well below Dwayne The Rock Johnson's last offering, which was Black Adam. That grossed $67 million opening weekend of October 2022. They're noting that it did hit higher than the 23 million start of the animated DC League of Super Pets in July of the same year. So, but enough to dethrone Venom. So it's interesting because one of my friends was asking me the other day, 'cause somehow we ended up talking about The Rock and Red One, and they were like, well, what do you think is going on there? Why do you think it's not taking in as much money? You know, what is it, the marketing? Is it? And I said, no, it has nothing to do with the marketing. I don't think, because The Rock, Chris Evans, like everybody's been full court press when it comes to doing the media rounds. I said, so no. And then to know that basically $100 million was invested in marketing. I mean, not just interviews, podcasts, and but also toys. Have you guys seen the toy line? I mean, there's some really, really good stuff out there, especially by Todd McFarlane's line. There's some really, really good stuff. I'll tell you what's really hilarious, as Bronson Reed and Sheamus is back, is the fact that you can go on Amazon right now. And speaking of The Rock, you can get The Rock as Black Adam, a real cool kick-ass statue, very finely detailed and everything. You can get one of those right now, brand new, fresh out the box, under 20 bucks. Under 20 bucks. So for those of you that you want to add a little something to your collection, there you go. Normally $50, $60, $70, and right now you can get it for just under $20. It's been a good Intercontinental match so far, man. I'm not really a fan of seeing Braun Breaker do these over-the-top rope moves, though. I'm not really a fan of that. I mean, he literally just did kind of like a last-minute senton midair there. Like, I don't need to be seeing the big man do that type of stuff. Great. You can do that type of stuff. Not needed. Not needed. Not needed. Nice, good back and forth. Sheamus getting slapped like a mofo. Sheamus back to a vertical base, coming in with some punches and slaps of his own. Breaker off the ropes. Guess he was looking for a spear, but instead he runs into a slam there by Sheamus. Don't forget, Saturday night's main event goes down on December 14th. Sheamus coming off the ropes. Nice kick to the head. Sheamus sent over the ropes there. Swing and a miss by Breaker. Sheamus wind up, coming in with those clubs to the chest, stringing them together successfully. Got him good there. Got him good there. Sheamus following up with a clothesline. He's heading up to the top. Is Sheamus. What's he looking for here? What's he looking for here? Oh, knee to the midsection there. Ooh. Is that it? Is that it? Oh, Breaker with the kick out. Breaker with the kick out. Breaker with that kick out. What Sheamus thinking right here? White noise? Yeah, counter by Breaker. What's he thinking? What's he thinking? Swing and a miss. Ooh, knees to the back by Breaker. That was actually nice. Sheamus kicking out. Match continues here. It's been a good fight. All right, action has gone to the middle rope. Sheamus, white noise from the second rope. Nah, too close to the corner. He's going to grab the rope. Oh, no. Instead, he kicks out. He kicks out. Breaker kicks out. I said this was going to be the match of the night, and it has been. It has been. And to think we still got the main event match coming up. Yo, they can let this one go for another 10, 12 minutes. We'll be fine. If Raw was only like 4 matches tonight, that's fine. That is fine. Yeah, the fans in the house are loving this one. Come on, Sheamus. All right, here we go again. Now they're both top rope. What's Breaker looking for here? Is Breaker looking for a DDT? What's he looking for here? Sheamus pushes him off. Breaker running right back. Top rope Frankensteiner. Breaker's thinking about a spear. Is he going to connect, though? Is he going to connect? That's the question. He going to connect? Oh, Sheamus. Sheamus, nice counter. Knee to the dome. Breaker somehow kicking out. Yo, I love this match, yo. I love this match. This is good. This is good shit, man. This is good shit. Yo, I need to see these two run this back. Seriously, this has been good. Oh, we got Survivor Series on Saturday. Okay, Saturday. Ain't that part of Thanksgiving week? Let me look at that. That's part of Thanksgiving week. Okay. I don't think I've got classes that, because we're supposed to be closed the whole week. Sheamus was looking for the bro kick, but Breaker had a beautiful counter there as he was able to come in with the spear. That pretty much sent Sheamus rolling out of the ring. Good ring presence there by Sheamus. Breaker looks pissed, yo. Oh, he's about to do the people around the world spear. He's stalking. He's running. He's going for it. Who the hell is that? Whoa, Ludwig Kaiser out of nowhere. Clotheslining the hell out of Breaker, causing this joint to be tossed out. So Sheamus wins via disqualification, but he does not get the championship. Oh, wow. Kaiser continuing his attack on Breaker. And he's coming around the corner, and he guts the hell out of Sheamus. Conan O'Brien making a name for himself. Ludwig is yelling at Sheamus as he's kind of disoriented, saying to him, I told you, you and me weren't done. Let me rewind that back a little bit. You and I are not done until you're gone for good. Interesting how they were able to string that all back with totally forgot about Kaiser and Sheamus there. They had a nice little feud going on a couple of months back. Like how they kind of brought all that back full circle. Good stuff. Good stuff. Hey, Seth Rollins. All right, so we got Sammy and the Usos. They trying their sales pitch again. Here's that sales pitch. Yo, man, telling you need to join our faction. Yeet. Telling you, man, we just can't do this. We can't do this new Call of Duty tournament without you, man. Please join our group. Won't you join? What was it? Faction? Won't you join our faction? They're reminding Seth, yo, you put your differences aside for Cody Rhodes. How you think Kevin Owens feels about this? I would love to see Kevin Owens. Rollins saying he would stand side by side with all these guys here, but under no circumstance would he stand side by side with Roman Reigns. Won't do it. Won't do it. One of them is I would love to get Bronson Reed inside the steel cage and tear him apart, but I'm telling you, boys, it's not worth it. The possible consequences on the other side of this. Not worth it. Rollins saying it's not worth it. The consequences from it alone, too. It's family, too. I understand it. But I'm telling you guys, it's not worth it. Definitely not worth it. Not worth it. Not worth it for him. He promises he's going to drop Bronson Reed. Whatever happens inside that cage, whatever happens after War Games with the bloodline,
That's on you guys.
Whatever happens inside that steel cage at War Games, that's on all of them, but he's out. Better call CM Punk. Better call CM Punk. All right. So Seth doubling down. So he ain't the one. He ain't the one. So again, can we make that phone call to CM Punk? I mean, I'm just saying. I mean, what's up? What's up?
These two are paired up as a standard tag team.
The following tag team match is set for one fall. Introducing first, representing the Judgment Day, the team of Carlito and Dirty Dominik Mysterio.
I mean, we got Survivor Series War Games coming up. What better way to you feel where I'm coming from, guys? CM Punk, I mean, it's really hard to believe, but he came back to WWE practically a year ago. He came back at Survivor Series War Games. So what better way to make everything come full circle than you're able to tap into the help of CM Punk? It writes itself so beautifully. That would be a great travesty if we go to Survivor Series War Games and there's no CM Punk involvement. That just really and it just boggles my mind that so many of my friends and colleagues, especially in the podcasting world, they're not talking about CM Punk and his involvement or their lack of over these past several weeks with the WWE. I've even jumped out there and said, "What's going on? Is he dealing with some type of a personal health issue? Is something going on in the family? Like what the hell's going on? Is he injured or something?" And like, to my knowledge, no. Right down to the point, we talked about it right here on this show last week. WWE made the announcement that CM Punk is going to be part of the WWE Holiday Tour, as they're going to be coming by Madison Square Garden and CM Punk's going to be there. So it's like, okay, so we can do all this other stuff, but if he does not show up at this year's Survivor Series War Games, we need to have a different conversation. I'm telling you that right now. We all need to have a different conversation. Let's see here. I'm looking online because I'm like trying to find out new information for CM Punk. There's some interesting things that's kind of popping up that I'm seeing online. We can definitely get into it on the show. That seems to be a bogus rumor. Let's see. What's this one about? I'm seeing something from Newsweek from 11 days ago, but I'm also seeing something from the boys at Wrestling Inc. Well, no, that's past. That's past. So I'm up to date. So we'll be able to talk some CM Punk. We'll say before the post show. Man, these commercial breaks seem so goddamn long. I tell you what, though, when I was watching the Jake Paul Mike Tyson fight on demand, I didn't watch it live in real time. But when I was watching it, because when I upgraded my phone with T-Mobile to get the latest iPhone, part of that deal, I was able to get Netflix on T-Mobile. So, like, I have Netflix basically for life. All right, for life. If you want to say free, I don't know. It's kind of like one of those. This is a little murky or whatever, but I got access to Netflix, and I basically have the. I don't know if it's the first tier or second tier because I think Netflix has like what 3 or 4 tiers. But basically, I was sitting through ads, but the ads weren't that long. I probably at most went through 60 seconds of an ad at most. And boom, right into the action. It did feel pretty abrupt, the way they got the ad spots laid out and everything, but it was all good. It was all good. Oh no, nice plug for Monday Night Raw coming to Netflix. That was a good plug by Mauro Ranallo, by the way. I loved it. It put a big old smile on my face to hear him put WWE over. Oh, you know what? I'm a few seconds behind. Hang on. There we go. Oh, Cody was on game day. Nice. I miss Pat McAfee. Yeah. Okay, we're getting a video package here for Dakota Kai.
Drive, even though you're just trying to keep it together because you can feel your dreams slipping through your fingers. You tell yourself.
I'm curious to see what Dakota Kai is going to be able to do this go around because this could very well be it for her. I'm not saying that to be mean spirited or anything like that, y'all, but no, seriously, this could be it for her. I mean, as we've seen with WWE, they have basically said, okay, you know what? Man, look at the latest round of releases. I mean, if they are willing to release Baron Corbin, if they're willing to let him go, really let you know anybody, any and everybody will get cut. Nice headbutt. Nice headbutt. All right, it's official. It's official. Rhea Ripley, Io Sky, Jay Cargill, Bianca Belair, Naomi versus Liv Morgan, Raquel Rodriguez, Nia Jax, Tiffany Stratton, Candice LeRae, Women's War Games. I can't help but wonder if that's where Tiffany Stratton pulls the trigger there. Oh, next Monday on Raw, we get a advantage match for War Games, Bianca versus Nia. Whoever wins that, their team will get the advantage at War Games. Meanwhile, we got Dirty Dom and Carlito tag team action underway against the Viking Raiders. This should be a good one. This should be a good one. I'm wondering how much time is actually going to go into this one, though. That's the main thing. How much time is going to go into this one?
Monday Night Raw is brought to you by Monopoly Go, where money talks and friendship pays.
As I spoke to the War Raiders a little earlier today, they told me, look, we both stared mortality.
All right, we got the action underway.
We've got a lot of miles on our clocks. We don't know how much longer we've got left. That leaves us as motivated as anyone to make every second count. We don't have time to waste. Like some of these younger guys in tag teams, we need gold now.
See Erik off to a hot start. It was a conversation we had with Erik earlier today that was just mind-blowing. We just give the details of the motorcycle accident.
Whatever happened to the Bloodbound Warriors? It just seemed like they were going places, and now, just very weird.
Really makes you want to pull for these two.
50-pound Ivar in control against Carlito. Back to the tag of Erik. And now you see the teamwork. 350 pounds coming right down on Carlito.
Raiders looking good. Raiders looking good so far.
Carlito and Dirty Dom about having to take on these two War Raiders. Go in there and soften them up for us if you can. But man, these are a pair of bad dudes.
I like these cool little graphics that WWE puts up now, where they're showing you where you can get tickets to the next show. Looks like Glendale, Arizona is going to be Raw next Monday.
They have the big man cornered. You can see the distraction of the referee. Carlito taking advantage.
The smartest thing you can do against big Ivar. Play it clean against
I think WWE has big plans for Dirty Dom next year, man.
Size differential. Clear to see.
My prediction,
Fights his way out of that corner, taking on both men. Marvel at the athleticism of Ivar as here comes Erik.
King of the Ring and or Money in the Bank. Again, and or. Leaning more towards or. Nice sideplex exploder by Rowan. I said Rowan. I think that's Erik. Erik and Ivar.
And here comes Dirty Dom flying as he goes airborne. Judgment Day.
And we got a commercial break. It's actually been pretty good for tag team action. It's actually been pretty good. All right, and we got ourselves another set of commercials. So I would imagine that at the conclusion of this match, which should go back from commercial breaks, it should go about another 5 minutes. And then that should pretty much take us right into the main event because isn't that going to be a cage match? So they got to lower the cage. Then you got to do the entrances, right? So prior commercial break, come back, get the main event match, the start of it, right? Yeah, so this is kind of looking like a 4-match show after all, give or take, unless my numbers are way off, and it wouldn't be the first. It definitely won't be the last. It won't be the last. Yeah, I was thinking about the Bloodbound Warriors. Every time I see the War Raiders, I always think about them. And back when I was watching Ring of Honor religiously, this was way before Tony Khan entered the picture and everything. You had this really cool ass tag team. I mean, they had the nice look. They had it down and everything. Guys were vicious in the ring. They were some dogs. Bloodbound Warriors. Look them up. Great freaking look, man. Telling you, great presentation and all that. And I don't know what happened. It just kind of seems like they just disappeared eventually. Just disappeared. I like to see one of those "Where Are They Now" joints for wrestlers. They would definitely be the ones on the top of my list. Yeah, I can't find nothing on them. So that's kind of one of those. Let's put out an APB, because usually when I mention a certain wrestler or tag team, usually I'll either get an email or somebody will hit me up in the DMs like, "Hey, I heard you talking about. Wanted to give you some information. Like, here's what happened." It's like, oh, nice, nice. Let's see, where is this at? I'm looking at the laptop here. Okay, we're still good. I got about 48% of battery juice. I mean, I like to wait until it gets to 40%, just slightly under. Then I go ahead and I start charging it again. So I'm gonna have this ready to go. I'm gonna have this ready to go. You guys that's tuning in right now, you're checking out the 13th anniversary edition of the RCWR show. Lee Sanders with you all. I feel very well rested. I made sure that once I got in from doing my live radio show to on campus, I made sure I was able to get in a little bit of a cat nap, and so I feel very refreshed. But you may be seeing me deliberately pause here and there throughout tonight's watch along, just kind of conserving the energy. Sometimes, don't need to always be saying something. Sometimes it's just good to just kick back, relax, just a tiny little bit and everything. But action is back. Our tag team action between Dirty Dom Carlito taking on the Viking Raiders. No, but I feel pretty good. Feel pretty good. Well rested. Now, while we got this tag match going, anybody that might be interested in calling into the show, and before I put you live on the air, I will be pre-screening. That way we can make sure as far as trolling goes, we got that nipped in the bud. But if you want to call into the show at anytime, like between now and even when we do the actual post show, you can call in. You can check out the episode description, or you can call area code 202 982 8277. And for anybody that calls, just let it ring an extra couple of times there. Like, give it like a additional 3 rings. That way I can have enough time to mute the stream audio, pre-screen you real quick, and then bring you on board. So if you guys don't hear audio, I'm gonna signal, let you guys know. I'm probably gonna do something like this, waving the phone into the camera, let you guys know there's a call coming in, and I'm gonna mute it, and then we'll pre-screen. Kick out by Dirty Dom. Come on, Ivar. You're going to have to do a lot more than that to Dirty Dom. Come on, man. Speaking of wrestling analysis, I'm just reminded of commentary. Rosie Perez did not offer a motherfucking thing on commentary during that whole boxing pay-per-view. Nice combo. Nice tag combo there by the Raiders. Oh, they're going for it. Oh, wow. Oh, that's a W. That was damn good. Good finish. Good strong finish. War Raiders finished that tag match strong. I love seeing big man Ivar come off the ropes there for that nice clothesline. That was some damn good tag team action. That was good. That was good. You know, if they can stay healthy, big things gonna happen. Damn, that was good. That was surprisingly a good tag match, I gotta admit. Good job. Oh, whoa, oh wow. JD and Balor attacking Viking Raiders from behind. Still beating the hell out of them. They are attacking the neck too, specifically there for Erik. Balor with the coup de grace on Erik. They just signed their death warrants. Oh, we got a message from the Wyatt Six. See what's going on here. Damn, he's looking more and more like his brother.
The trust of the innocent is a liar's most useful tool. We offer you salvation. Freedom from the pit. I tried to warn you. You damned yourself. I'm sorry for what happens next. You chose this. Your hands will forever be bloodstained, crimson, scarlet, red, because of your actions.
This is good shit. I'm loving this. I'm sorry to be quiet, y'all, but I'm loving this.
What matters most. I never wanted this.
Good shit. Now, give me more segments like that from the Wyatt Six. Wow, that was good. So basically, Uncle Howdy, letting them know there, Bo Dallas, letting the Miz know, you know, he didn't want any of this. Miz making a very costly, gravely miscalculated mistake. And pretty much letting Miz know he is not responsible for what happens next. So that was good. That was damn good. Yo, this Gladiator 2, I'm representing. I have loved me some Denzel Washington for decades. I remember when he first came to the scene, and I was like, yo, that's a guy that we need to watch. So I am definitely going to be checking now Gladiators 2. It's funny because some of my classmates actually were mentioning Gladiator 2, and they were like, you know, anybody going to see Gladiator 2? Like, saw the first one, and you know, it actually was pretty good. It's like, yeah, go and check it out. Going to check it out. I'm definitely going to represent it because to now know officially that Denzel is only going to be working on so many projects. He's only got like a handful that's left. And then apparently he's going to retire. I'm like, wow, like, good for you, Denzel. Like, seriously, good. I sincerely mean that because nothing breaks my heart more than to see some of my favorite actors get to this position where, okay, yeah, now it's just a case where it's just the name that basically is selling this TV show appearance or this Amazon Prime show or this Hulu show or this movie. It's just the name of this actor that's basically, because as far as the performance itself from that once respected actor. Now you're just going, man, this ain't nothing like what I saw 10 years ago, 15 years ago, 20 years ago. And a really good example of that is Al Pacino. I think many of us, and you're talking to somebody that at one point had physically owned every single Al Pacino movie that was put out there, even little cameos that was put out there. Funny story on how I lost all of that, but it breaks my heart to see, pretty much where he is now, because it's one of those cases now where he's doing what he's doing because he needs the money. Like, I don't like hearing that. Like, it's like, why are you continuing to, it's one thing if you love it, you love what you're doing, and but he has honestly said in numerous interviews he needs the money. He's got kids he's got to take care of and everything. And it's like, oh, okay, like I hear you, but you're not the Al Pacino from the mid 2000s. I would say for Al Pacino, once you got past 2000, I think once you got past 2015, 16-ish, that's when it's like, yeah, that's about it. That's it for him. So to hear Denzel is pretty much going to be wrapping it up in the next couple of years, you just go, way to go, man. The fact that you not only are you going to go out on your terms, because I think one of his last projects, I think it's something to do with Shakespeare. I'll pull it up. We'll talk about it on the show, but yeah, I know he's going to be hooking up with, oh, what's this? Oh, a video package for Lyra Valkyria. Let's see what this is about. Well, if you're a phoenix that needs to rise from the, you've been burning for a long time.
But I didn't burn.
Put right into the fire, but she didn't burn.
Stood toe to toe with the best in the world, and I thrived. I used to think I was like a phoenix, but I am so much more. I am Lyra.
Yeah, the only two guys cheering for Lyra.
And I'm coming.
Okay, so we got a refocused package there for Lyra Valkyria. Look, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. I hope the best, seriously, because she was good in NXT. They fumbled with her big time. Xavier Woods, Kofi coming across Otis.
Been us just yelling at each other. After 10 years of no serious arguments, now we're here. This is crazy, man. I know we're New Day. I know we're the most decorated tag team in the history of WWE, but even with all that, man, I just keep thinking about what Cross said. We're carrying Cross, so he's still in your head. What do you mean? Bro, he said the New Day is dead, and we're the only ones that don't know. The New Day is not dead, okay?
Some of that language Karrion Kross was spitting is really getting in Kofi's head there. Xavier telling Otis to mind his own business. Ha! Why do you think Chad Gable left your asses? What? Xavier promises a win against them, and he called them clowns. You two clowns. Wow, that's a great instant Acme feud, man. Xavier is he's just spasming out all over the place, and Kofi is just in the cut looking back like, Kofi, at times, I don't know how many of you are familiar with the Three Stooges, but I love the Three Stooges. I've been finding myself in a Three Stooges craving the past week and a half. Go back and just watch some of those vintage episodes there but particularly with Larry. It is just those little nuances that makes you appreciate not just Larry, but just whatever was happening during that episode even more, like certain mannerisms, just little things that he does. And Kofi has just been doing these little things, just the little things such as facial expressions and all that just has you go. I don't mean to laugh, but in part, it is one of those things where you're kind of laughing, but then you're also like, yeah, Kofi, we feel you, man. That's exactly where we are. As our main event match is underway, Bronson Reed already doing his thing. Rollins is coming out next. True story. I am working with some classmates on one of our final, actually, no, it's our final project. It's a television game show project. And I'm taking a page out of Seth Rollins' playbook. I got this nice, hot ass licorice suit that I'm going to be buying. Like, it looks like the color licorice, right? And the material, it looks like licorice as well. I mean, it's real shiny. So I got this nice hot ass burgundy red suit that I'm getting. It's like a nice cherry red suit. And I'm actually getting a wig to go with it. And they're like, well, what's your name going to be? It's like, are you actually going to go with Lee Sanders? I said, nah, I'm not going with Lee Sanders. I'm probably going to go with a different name. It's like, well, what are you going to call yourself? Well, I'm thinking Harry Mansack. Wait, what? Harry Mansack. Oh. And they didn't get it. And I'm like, am I saying it wrong? But then somebody was like, wait a minute, what's your name going to be? Harry Mansack. They died. And then they reiterate, like, oh, Bloodline's in the house. Bloodline Great Value is in the house. So I guess, oh, wait a minute. Here come the Usos. Jey Uso and Jimmy with Sammy taking the fight right to Great Value Bloodline. All right, so they're negated. So Bronson, Rollins, y'all don't have to be standing in the ring looking at them. Go ahead, get your action on there. I mean, I appreciate them making sure that this is a fair fight, but I still want to see Seth Rollins sticks to his guns and be like, yeah, nah, appreciate you, but no. Will really make you wonder what the hell is truly next for CM Punk if it ends up no CM Punk in action at Survivor Series. Nice suicide dive between the ropes there, sending Reed to the announcer's desk. Nice start to the main event. And they still got plenty of time. Man, they got like 15 minutes left for this main event. So, I mean, that's pretty good. I need to create a graphic so that, because your man's about ready to hit the head real quick. I did drink a lot of water throughout the broadcast here. So let me knock out two birds with one stone here. First things first, I got to find a be right back graphic. Let's see. I should have one like already ready to go, but I'm going to find something that's kind of, I think I can go with this one. Let me open this in a new tab. Something plain and simple. Yeah, I like this one. This is actually pretty simple. And we'll save that. Let's see. Be right back. Save that to the desktop. Okay, and let's see. What can we do? What can we do? Actually, no, cancel that. Cancel that. What can we do? Is it banners? No, it's this one. Yeah, this is what we want to do. All right, guys. So I'm gonna come right back. I just want to refresh on water, and I want to refresh on water and hit the head real quick. At least that way I'll be ready to do the show. Hang on here. Is it in recent? I literally just saved a graphic. Where is it? That's funny. I saved a graphic, but like, hang on here. BRB, and it should be in desktop. Replace. Okay. Oh, that's why. Okay, it's a WEBP joint. Well, let's change that to a JPEG. Let's see here. JPEG. Use JPEG. Yep. All right. And now let's try that again. Should be. Huh. Interesting. Interesting. Okay. Well, I'll go with a different one then. That's interesting. Let's see. Let me click on images. Okay. How about this one? How about this one? Can I get this one? Open image and new tab. That's a PNG. I don't want a PNG. I want a JPEG. So I'm on the Mac and I am renaming. I'm renaming, but even when I'm renaming, oh, I like this one. This is a nice little message. I like this one. Okay, let me open this in a new tab. And let's save that. Let's see here. Boy, that's a long ass file name. Put that on desktop. Okay, let's go back. Let's add an overlay. This one works. Okay, so if you're just tuning in, I just want to use the restroom real quick and refresh on my beverage. Our main event is still underway. Plenty of time left. I'll be back way, way, way before. Probably like 2, maybe 3 minutes tops. I'll be back. And then we'll finish out strong, and then we'll go right into our post show. A lot of fun news that we're going to be getting into and all that. So stick around. We're still just getting started. It's the 13th anniversary edition of the RCWR show. Let me put this graphic up here. All right. And let's show that real quick. Yeah, that looks pretty good. That looks pretty good. All right, guys, I'll be coming right back. I think what I'll do, I'll like leave the audio on, maybe. Maybe I'll leave my joint on. Do that. All right, I'll be right back, guys.
Seth Rollins shockingly made his return and cost Bronson Reed the last monster standing match against Braun Strowman. That was at the end of September. And since then, missing every week, nonstop, constant brutality. Oh, and he sends him over to the floor.
Seth is just getting nothing going
All right. I feel like $1,000,000. All right, we're back. Let's see. Let's go back to this one. Oh, yes, we're back. Told you it was like 2 minutes. All right, so we got Bronson Reed missing a tackle into Seth Rollins on the outside as he hit nothing but steel steps. I'm gonna text the wifey and see if she can give me a refill. Hey, hon, if you
Bronson Reed head bouncing off the steel is enough to any man down. But you're not dealing with a man tonight. You are dealing with a monster.
Rollins, he asked Adam Pearce for this opportunity to do it again. He's getting it. Is he thinking a stop here, Wade?
This setup, Joe.
Rollins just tried to look for a stomp, but miscalculated there. That was a nice springboard knee. I like that. Boot to the face. Reed is just absorbing the hell out of that. Rollins going low, mid with the kicks, off the ropes. Runs into a little mini power bomb there by Reed. Another commercial break? Wow, that is just bad timing. I can actually get my own water. Damn. I just text my wife if she could come up and give me a recharge here, but I can actually do that myself real quick. So they're on a commercial break. Let me just pull up my one more time. I'm just gonna at this point get me a refresher and a little snacky snack, and I will be back, y'all. Main event is back. Our main event is back. Hey, kiddo. You can't have this, honey. It's got too much sugar in it. Seth Rollins looking for the pedigree there. Oh, nice. Nice kick to the head. My candy of choice. I'm guilty of it. The way to my heart. This is the way to my heart. You want to get on my good side? This is what you get me. This is what you get me. It's been a good main event, but you know what? The Sheamus and Bron Breaker was better. Oh, I gotta put a poll out too. Bronson missing a senton as nobody was home.
Escaping the senton, trying to line up the pedigree again. But instead, super kick up top.
Rollins with the pedigree finally connects.
Here's the cover for the win. This will continue, and Rollins can't believe it.
Well, there was almost nothing in that kick out from Bronson Reed. And it's the frustration you see on the
I like that they had Bronson Reed kick out of the pedigree. Rollins looked like, what the hell do I have to do now? Hey, for those of you that are watching the stream via YouTube, I showed you guys some love just now. Go on the post section, and we got the poll up right now. Rollins connecting with the stomp as he's climbing up to the top rope. What you looking for? Frog splash? What are you looking for? Solo interference. Solo had a COVID mask on. What's going on there? Bronson takes advantage. Death Valley driver, senton. Senton again. Bronson climbing to the top. Sound like the taste of tsunami. 1, 2, and 3. Can you say Rollins is now going to join? Rollins is now going to join them, which makes you wonder what's going to happen with CM Punk. Well, I guess at this point, maybe they'll have Punk appear, right? Interesting. Interesting. We remember Joe. Yeah, Solo tried to recruit him, but Rollins said no. Yeah. And that is all she wrote. That is all she wrote. I'm putting out, because I put out one poll already for YouTube. I want to get the other poll out. I want to put the other poll out for X/Twitter. And then we can officially do the show here. Okay. Let's get a couple more hashtags in there. And let's get one more hashtag in there. Me and my damn hashtags. What hashtag am I missing that's in there? Yeah. Okay. All right. So we got those up. Good Raw. That was actually a pretty good Raw overall. Actually, it was pretty good. All right, let's go ahead here and let me make sure the recorder is on, because now we're getting ready to do the main show. I'm not making the watch along be part of the overall show. We're going to have the watch along just be an exclusive web thing. That's it. So now we're getting ready to do the main show. And where's our intro? All right, let's do it. We're going to, because it's the top of the hour. So we're going to do the intro, and then we're going to come in and do the actual post show, going all over the place. All right, let's do it.
It's time to sit back and check out the RCWR show with Lee Sanders. Get fun, in-depth coverage and analysis from the latest in professional wrestling in AEW, WWE, NWA, Impact Wrestling, or the world of entertainment. From hit TV shows to your favorite sports like the NBA or NFL. All things music, movies, and beyond, while trying to make sense of this crazy world we live in. All while keeping it honest, insightful, and interactive since 2011. And now your hosts, live from the nation's capital of Washington, D.C., Lee Sanders.
Yes, what is going on, my pretty babies? Lee Sanders with you guys for this Monday night of November 18th, 2024. You all are checking out the 13th anniversary edition of the RCWR show. It's our 13th anniversary. I cannot believe that, but we started this show back in November of 2011. The podcast landscape still in its infancy stage. I remember one of the first web streaming outlets for shows was Google Hangouts. And people were trying to learn what that all was about. A little bit of hesitation. A lot of people were on the fence. And I remember how myself and just a small core group of others embraced it. And we were like, nah, we see the future here. We know exactly what's going on here. This is a really cool way to connect with listeners and make new fans. And I mean, we saw the potential of this, and we tapped into it very early. And just look at where things are now. And definitely when the pandemic occurred, that I think even brought more technology awareness to folks that maybe were on the fence about doing a podcast and thought that maybe it was too complex. And it's just crazy when I think about where we were just as a podcasting community, webcasting community, as far back as 2011, and where we are now. Interesting people have come and gone along the way, but to still be here all these years later, I'm reminded of something that my professor had said to me in class a couple of weeks ago. Hey, here's this guy Lee. He's been doing this show all these years. He's consistent, same day and time, every single. I mean, my professor was able to tell me more about my podcast because she's been keeping tabs ever since she found out, about my channel and all that, right down to the point. She's disappointed a little bit when I don't bring certain aspects of my show into the campus radio show, because she's like, no, some of the stuff that you got, you need to bring it into campus radio. It's like, okay, all right, I'll do that. But yeah, here we are all these years later, 13 years later. Fun ride. I don't see myself stopping anytime soon. Oh, woo! Never retire. Woo! Right. So I hope you guys had a fantastic weekend. For those of you that maybe want to call into the show, I know some of you guys had reached out to me, whether it was email, or maybe you posted a little something in response to a thread, or DMs. I do have a phone line that is open right now. What's going to happen, though, if you end up calling that number, I'm going to mute myself from the stream as I'm personally pre-screening, just to make sure that we don't get any trolls, because the trolls, they love doing their thing. We love the trolls. We love them. We know deep down inside the trolls love us. They can try to hate all they want, but we know deep down inside the trolls, they love us. But no, what I'll do is I'll mute the stream audio. I'll actually pre-screen if you decide to call in, and then that way, everything's on the up and up, and then we officially patch you in, and then it's good to go and everything. So for those of you that maybe want to, and there's no particular, I'm not gonna have you guys wait 30 minutes, or we'll take your calls at the top of the hour, or we'll take your calls the next hour. I'm not gonna do anything like that. It's kind of one of those, you see the message, you want to call in, you want to wish a happy anniversary, all that other good stuff, or you want to pick my brain on something, you can definitely do that. So the number to call, just going to get this out there right now. Chat with Lee during this live broadcast special celebrating 13 years. And then we'll put the number out there. Okay, boom. All right, so it's now posted in the chat. So those on YouTube are able to see it. Those on Facebook are able to see it. Now, I know that we got those that are checking out the stream via X/Twitter. Hey, Twitter family. Appreciate you guys as always. The number to call, 202-982-8277. Once again, that's 202-982-8277. Pretty easy number to remember, right? So if you guys see me at some point, wave my phone into the camera. I'm letting you know I got a call. I'm going to hit the mute, pre-screen real quick, and then we'll officially patch whoever we got on the line into the show, all that good jazz. All right. Got the polling up for Raw. We'll go look at that in a little bit. For those of you that are just tuning in, you missed it. We did a fun Raw watch along. We've got that up in its entirety. That's part of the overall main show. So if you want to just experience everything in one sitting, you're more than encouraged to go on the YouTube channel or on Facebook, and you can check out the entire show that way. But we did do a watch along, pretty solid edition of Monday Night Raw, I definitely would say. And I hate to be premature with my judgment, but I'm going to go with my gut instinct here, which is I feel that the majority of those that's going to vote on our polls for tonight, they're going to agree that the show overall was an awesome show. I mean, we had some really good matches as far as the quality goes. We had some pretty good stuff there. We had our main event match between Seth Rollins and Bronson Reed. And things took a very interesting turn, did it not? Because as we were talking about on the watch along, what is going on with CM Punk? We haven't seen him, and some of us were under the impression maybe he'll do something at the Saudi show, but then majority highly unlikely. And that pretty much came and went. And now it's been a few weeks since Crown Jewel. Still no CM Punk, which has us kind of going, well, what's going on here? Surely he's going to factor in Survivor Series War Games because we're coming up on the 1 year anniversary of his return to the WWE, where hell officially froze over. And I'm not talking about the Eagles reuniting, right? We're talking CM Punk back in the WWE. But mum has been the word right now on CM Punk. And as we had highlighted here on the show from last week, one interesting piece of CM Punk news is that he'll be part of the WWE Live Holiday Tour. One particularly is what's happening at MSG. He's going to be part of that tour. It looks like he's going to be seeing some form of in-ring action. As far as who his opponent is going to be, we don't know just yet. I would imagine as we get closer to that December event, we'll definitely know what's going on. And there's actually was a couple of reports that was put out there, some bogus stuff. You kind of had to filter through the weeds there, go through the weeds and get past the BS stuff. But one interesting piece of news that was floating around was by the good guys over at Fightful, as the information that they felt they were being given, they were kind of under the impression that CM Punk maybe was going to be returning as early as Monday, November 11th. And so all things considered, hearing that, you're kind of getting the impression, oh, well, maybe he's going to be back in time for Seth Rollins. Yeah, maybe that's what's going to be going down. Then, of course, if you're looking at what's been happening with this whole Bloodline Great Value versus Bloodline original storyline, you're going, okay, well, maybe somehow CM Punk is going to get involved in that. Maybe somehow he's going to be connected. But all things considered, with how things have played out these past 2 weeks on Raw, definitely including what went down tonight, it's safe to say, for those of you that maybe were under the impression Punk was going to get involved with Bloodline versus Bloodline, that's not happening, as the honors of that is going to, as we saw from SmackDown, Bronson Reed was recruited, laid out the big dog Roman Reigns big time. Good stuff right there. Nice, good rub off. I love what WWE and everybody involved has been doing with the booking and handling of Bronson Reed. They have really done that justice. I still remember hearing, and I don't want to mention any names because I don't want it to sound as though I'm trying to kick a person, not necessarily while they're down, but I don't want it to kind of come off as if I'm, for lack of a better term, being a dick to somebody. But I do remember hearing a couple of very well established podcasters going, oh, Bronson Reed, he ain't nothing. He's basically getting the Shinsuke Nakamura treatment right now. And once Seth Rollins comes back, he's pretty much going to squash the hell out of Bronson Reed. There ain't nothing special. That Bronson Reed guy, there's nothing there. He's just a flavor of the month. That's all. And I looked at that set of comments, and this wasn't just echoed by one podcaster. This was echoed by quite a few. I just looked at that. I shook my head in disbelief and I said, no, there's so much more here to Bronson Reed than what these people are putting out there. And I've constantly gone to bat for Bronson Reed. And remember, folks, full transparency, I wasn't always a fan of Bronson Reed. I was not always a fan of Bronson Reed. I did not like the fact that he wasn't really pushing that much facial hair from what I remember of the the last go round when he was part of WWE. He came off, for me at least, not intimidating whatsoever. And I said it here on this show. I said, yeah, I'm not sold. Like, I'm not sold. Like, I just don't see what other people are talking about. And I know he did his thing briefly. What was that, in TNA or whatever? But there's just been something this second rodeo in the WWE where he has shown me, at least, okay, yes, he does have that dog in him. And if you get the right type of creative around him, yeah, this guy is definitely something pretty special here. And I like how Triple H, Paul Levesque, and crew has been handling him this go round. And it's been a case where, nah, everybody thinks that it's going to end with just Seth Rollins. And no. The way that they have built this man up, he has officially maneuvered himself to be in a position where he is a feature player. And that's a really good position to be in. It really is. Because that means the company is definitely eyeing you. They're appreciating your work. They love what you've been doing. And each opportunity that they've been giving you, far and, in between, whatever you want to call it, you're crushing it. So to put him in that position where Roman Reigns, let me tell you something, because a lot of people aren't gonna talk like this. For Roman Reigns to go, yeah, yeah, beat me up, yes, let's do it, yes, you're gonna do, and Bronson's gonna, okay, yeah, let's do it. That should signal to you, yeah, especially if you're a veteran podcaster or whatever. If Roman Reigns is willing to do work with Bronson Reed, that should let you know how much respect Roman has for the work of Bronson. And I would love to hear Roman's thoughts, because I know we got Survivor Series coming up next weekend. I am particularly going to be looking forward, because I know there's going to be someone of the media outlets that's going to ask Roman about Bronson Reed's involvement and everything. I have, mark my words, Roman will be asked about Bronson, and he is going to be singing the praises of the big man big time. So the fact that Roman is willing to do work with Bronson, that should signal to you, yeah, they got a lot of faith. They really like what's going on with this young man. And as long as he can stay out of trouble and everything, yeah, I mean, the possibilities with Big Bronson Reed, endless for sure. Fun little main event match between Rollins and Bronson. We saw Bloodline, Great Value get involved. Sami Zayn, Usos coming in there, negating that so that both men could just focus on one another. But Solo Sikoa making his presence felt in the final moments of our main event. Looked like he had a COVID mask on. I don't know, for those of you that were watching at home, I don't know if some of you guys had caught that, but the camera just, by the time it cut to Solo, you could see him trying to ditch some type of black masking material, rip it off his face, and then you see a COVID mask that was right up under that. So I hope he's okay, because normally, these days at least, when you see somebody with a COVID mask on, they may have just suffered from some type of a cold or whatnot. I know one of my classmates, for example, we didn't see her in our science class last week. She's a sweetheart. I like her. She's actually pretty cool. She's pretty cool. And you know what? She came to my aid big time this past weekend. It was quite silly, but she was sick last week, so we didn't see her in class. But when we saw her this so last weekend, not this weekend that went past that we just got out of, but it was the weekend before. So when we saw her just a couple of days ago, she had a COVID mask on, and then she told us, what was going on with her. And it was like, oh, okay. And she takes her health very seriously because she's a registered nurse. So it was like, oh, okay. And we ended up knowing that she was a registered nurse because she helped out yours truly during a medical incident. Not as major as you guys think it is, but basically I was cleaning some beakers. We just got done doing a lab project, and I was cleaning some beakers. Yeah, I just cleaned them with some not ice cold water, but it was chilled water. Definitely wasn't hot at all. Hot water was not turned on at all. Just some chilled water. Cleaning the beakers, had a paper towel, cleaning it, and I had the beaker in my left hand, and I have a paper towel in my right hand, and I'm just wiping it down. And the next thing you know, the beaker explodes in my hand. And I've got her, and everybody else, don't touch it, don't touch it, don't touch it. I'm going, I'm not, but they're like, no, 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 no buts, don't touch it. And so professor and everybody, they came over, they're cleaning it. And, my nurse classmate, she goes, I think you're bleeding. And I'm like, huh? She's like, yeah, you're bleeding. She takes my hand. And, you can kind of see it. If you look at my left hand here, you see that little mark right there. And that's where I was bleeding. And I was losing a lot of blood. I mean, it was bad, really bad. And she's like, oh, you're going to be okay. And at first I'm like, yeah, seems like it's a razor cut. But the amount of blood that was coming out. So she ended up cleaning me up real good and everything. Gave me a gauze and all that. I delayed my class by like 30 minutes because we had to fill out a incident report. I felt really bad. All we were doing was getting ready to go into the greenhouse, work on some more plants, but I felt bad that I was in that position that I was in and everything. And I was like, sorry, guys. And they're like, no, it's okay, man. It's like it happens. I'm like, yeah, like, but still, it was like, God damn it, But yeah, she hooked your man up. I was like, yes, yes, thank you, thank you, thank you. Um, I know how we got on that topic, but sometimes when I get off on a rant, it can be kind of hard to connect back to. But I know how we ended up going into that topic of conversation. So, fun little main event match between Seth Rollins, Bronson Reed. I'm getting old, folks. It happens. It happens. Literally, my wife will tell you, I can be having a conversation and then I'll go, wait, what were we talking about last? It's like, I don't know. You tell me. It's like, well, I can't remember. That's what I'm asking you. But it comes with the territory when you get old. It happens. But anyway, fun little main event match there. Oh, because Solo Sikoa was wearing the surgical mask. He had the COVID mask. And I was thinking about my classmate with the mask, same mask. Yeah. But to my whole point, I hope Solo is okay. I hope he wasn't, yeah, or he hasn't been dealing with some type of respiratory issues, or hopefully he wasn't recently sick. I'm basically knocking on wood for the young man. That's my whole point. I'm hoping he's okay. But his interference played a pivotal role and helping Bronson Reed get the victory over Seth Rollins on tonight's Raw in the main event. And you would just like to imagine that as a result of that, Seth Rollins, who was very hell bent earlier in the night, saying to Sammy and the Usos, no way, no how am I going to team up while I'm on the same team with Roman Reigns. Yeah, I will team, and I got nothing but love for you, Oos. I got nothing but love for you, Oos. Sammy, I got nothing but love for you. But Roman Reigns, no way, no how, ain't going down. Ain't happening. Well, you would like to believe that after the events that happened on tonight's Raw, Seth Rollins is probably going to have a different change in tune. Definitely makes SmackDown this coming week that much more interesting. We probably have been, and I've made my rounds, here and there, checking out some of my contemporaries, getting a overall feel on where they are, where they're kind of seeing some of these story arcs going with some of our favorite characters and everything. But I was more curious to know, okay, what do they make about CM Punk and his potential positioning in some of these story arcs, or maybe their a lack of and everything. And nobody's been bringing up CM Punk, and here on the past few weeks worth of shows, we've brought him up. And now, considering where we are with the bloodline versus bloodline, definitely, okay, we can take CM Punk off the table right here. Ain't happening, right? When CM Punk is going to make his return, That's kind of one of those. We'll just have to keep watching and find out type of deals. But I mean, you would like to believe that, wait a minute, we're coming up on the 1 year anniversary of CM Punk returning to the WWE. Surely they're gonna do something kind of cool, kind of special to commemorate that, right? Because to not do so, optics wise, it just looks kind of baffling, right? It looks kind of silly. And you got that running joke that's running around where, well, now that The Rock is involved, you can pretty much forget about you can pretty much forget about CM Punk there. I don't know if I'm willing to go to those extremes, y'all. I don't know if I'm willing to go to those extremes, but it's definitely it's making things interesting. Yes, it's definitely making things interesting. All right, so we got that. Another development, huge development from this week's Monday Night Raw. We got ourselves our women's War Games announcement. Women's War Games announcement. I named all the participants, but I'm telling you right now, if you were to ask me to do it right now, name the participants just off the top of my head. Okay, let's try without looking. Without looking, let's see if I can name them all. So we've got Bianca Belair, Jade Cargill, Naomi, Io Sky, a returning Rhea Ripley, who is wearing her Ben Wallace NBA face mask. They're on one side taking on Tiffany Stratton, Nia Jax, Raquel Rodriguez, Liv Morgan, and Candice LeRae, your current Speed Women's Champion, WWE Speed Women's Champion. God damn, I did good. Wow. Good job, Lee. Good job, you old man. I can't believe I was able to remember all those names. My God, that was woo. I'm pretty. You know what? If I mess up anything else on this show tonight, right? I can at least pat myself on the back and go, hey, and just one take from one segment, you were able to remember all those participants essentially 2.5 hours later. Good for you. Good for you. So yeah, that pretty much. And I liked how all of that was orchestrated tonight, how it all had came about. But mainly Rhea Ripley. That was very surprising because we heard the report that we heard as fans, she was going to be out for a couple of months because she was having some type of. Actually, you know what? No. I think the original report I remember hearing was there's no timetable, there's no ETA on how long she's going to be out. So, and if that's the case, I definitely now want to go back. And if I'm remembering that right, and they never said anything about, I think as far as if it was being put out there, she was going to be out for X amount of months. I think that might have been fans' interpretations, and that might have been people jumping the gun and assuming, but I'm like 80%, 80% certain that the initial, like, no timetable on when she's going to be returning. So the fact that Rhea Ripley is back, I'm in heaven. I'm just like, yes, because we need Rhea. We cannot afford to have Rhea out because you're just kind of looking at the current landscape and everything. Look, don't get me wrong. The talent is definitely there with the women's division and everything. But to basically go Nia Jax, Liv Morgan, yeah, go ahead, girls, run with it. Look, I love me some Nia Jax, but her run as the current women's champion, it's been a bit flat so far. She's been putting in great matches. I love the fact that she's continuing to lose the weight. She's looking fantastic. My girl is throwing it down. She's throwing it down. She's laying it down. I got nothing but love for Nia. But it's been pretty much weak sauce. And then even with Liv Morgan, like if you take away Rhea Ripley, it's like, what are we doing with Liv? What do we do with Liv? What are we doing here? What do we do? We don't know. We don't know, right? And so Liv plays very well off of Rhea Ripley. So, and there's just no telling when Becky Lynch is going to be back. But because I mean, it's pretty much built right in there. She's definitely going to be gunning for Liv Morgan whenever she returns. And then let's not also forget whenever Charlotte Flair returns. I am just counting that down. I'm counting that down right down to the point. Y'all may notice, shout out to those of you that's checking out the webcast stream. You may notice with the graphics, one, we made the logo much smaller because I was kind of noticing with the one that we've been pushing for the past year. Boy, that logo sure does look pretty damn big. So we went on ahead and he kind of shrink that down quite a bit. And but as you can see, like we've got Charlotte Flair in there, right? I try to go off of all the people that I like. That's usually the gag. That's the running gag is well, who do I like, and that's who we put in there and everything. I miss me some Charlotte though, and I'm looking forward to seeing her come back. She gets a bad rap. I personally feel she really, really does. You got all these people. F that beep. She's a freaking beep, 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 beep. And it's like she's actually going to these people, the bookers and the writers. You're going to put the belt on me. You're going to give me this match. It's like homegirl just showing up. What we doing today? Like, I've never heard Charlotte Flair going, that don't work for me, brother. I've never heard that before in my life. And yet somehow some fans have just built themselves up. They've worked up quite a nerve with Charlotte Flair that it's quite funny what's going on here. I got to give a shout out to my wife too, by the way, in regards to the graphic that you guys are looking at. When I was putting this together, one thing that she said to me, she said, you got like two different graphics. You usually do one for the Monday nights and then you usually do one for AEW, don't you? I said, yeah. Why not combine the two? That way you can just have it all in one graphic. That way it's universal. I said there, I said, God damn it, I wish I'd have thought of that a long time ago. It's like, you just saved me. Like, I don't have to keep going back and forth. She's like, exactly. So we got our women's war games. A real question, though, that comes to mind is Tiffany Stratton and whether or not she's going to find an opportunity there to cash in that Money in the Bank briefcase. Because when you stop and think about it, you got Liv Morgan involved. So you got the Raw Women's Champion, and then you got Nia Jax, the SmackDown Women's Champion, involved. Come on, man. Come on. Tiffany's walking out of War Games with somebody's title. You can bank on that. She is walking out with somebody's title. Telling you that right now. Far as who I think it's going to be, I think she's going to walk out with, I think she's going to end up walking out with Nia Jax's title. I'm really having a hard time picturing both women's champions walking out with both of those titles. I'm not seeing it. LLW, Zelina Vega, Rey Mysterio taking on American Maids, Ivy Nile, and Chad Gable. Nice that for once we saw LWO picking up a W here because it's rare. The W's are very far and between. So it's nice that we saw them pick up a win. It was a decent little tag match. It was a mixed intergender tag match there that we had going on. WWE, they accomplished two things here. By one, giving LWO a rare win, but then two, positioning American Made and pretty much the next chapter for that stable, because we saw the Creed brothers get in there post match. Chad Gable pretty pissed off at what went down. Right, he cannot accept defeat, and that worked him up big time. And he didn't appreciate seeing the Creed brothers smiling and not taking what just went down more seriously. So he started slapping the hell out of them, showing them some tough love, and they started to get pretty upset. And once they did, they started getting physical, the Creed brothers with themselves. Chad Gable liking what he was seeing and letting them know that's the type of tenacity, that's the type of beasts I need to see coming from out of you guys going forward. So we accomplished two things here in this match, but for your opener for Raw tonight, not too shabby of a match, not too shabby. But I tell you what, some would make an argument that the main event between Rollins and Reed, good. Some would say a little bit average, but as far as the match of the night goes, definitely the Intercontinental Championship between Sheamus, Braun Breaker with the retain. Sheamus winning via DQ and what was a classic matchup because Ludwig Kaiser got involved and laid out Sheamus first, which caused the ref to call for the bell. But then Kaiser assaulting Sheamus afterwards, and Kaiser letting Sheamus know, I told you, you and I were not done. We aren't over until you're officially out of this company. So he is trying to force Sheamus into retirement. Ludwig Kaiser, if there's another takeaway from tonight's show, is the fact that Ludwig Kaiser has officially carved out his own path and he's doing his thing. And it came at a very pivotal time because he had a conversation with Gunther earlier in the night where Gunther told him, hey, don't appreciate you getting involved in my personal business. You need to go out there and, he pretty much hit him up with the God bless the child that's got his own line. He pretty much let him know you need to go carve out your own path. Go be your own man. Like we're still down, we're still Imperium and all that, but my business is my business. Your business needs to be your business. We don't need to be mingling like that. So Kaiser carving out his own little thing right here. And kudos to WWE. I think a lot of people are not going to bring this point up, but kudos to WWE for making sure that Kaiser attacked both men. Because when he was doing it to Breaker, you're just going, so wait a minute here. So is now Braun Breaker, are we supposed to be sympathetic towards Braun Breaker here? Because if so, I don't know about that, man. So the fact that they had Kaiser not only attack Braun Breaker, I was about to call him Bronson. That's why I did the deliberate pause there. But then to also have him attack the fan favorite there in Sheamus, which will get sympathetic points there with the fans and all that. I thought that was a really great touch and everything. So looks like we're ultimately going to be seeing a three-way dance here for this championship between all these men. Should be interesting. And then to circle it back to Kaiser and Sheamus, and great little program that they had a couple of months back and everything. I like that they brought this back full circle for what it was worth. Honorable mention to the tag team action we got tonight between Judgment Day's Carlito and Dominik Mysterio versus the War Raiders. Fun little tag match. I also love the fact that Raiders, although they picked up the win, rest of Judgment Day jumping them afterwards. I love this positioning that we're doing right here. We're continuing on this little arc between Raiders and Judgment Day. They did good WWE in establishing, okay, look, we've got some drama that not only is going on here in the tag team division with the men, but as far as jockeying position, trying to figure out who could potentially be next in line for a shot at the tag titles and everything. Love that. Love that. Good stuff right there. Wyatt 6, Bo Dallas, Uncle Howdy with a nice video package letting Miz know he made a miscalculating move of a mistake and aligning himself with the final testament and that he's not gonna like what's gonna happen to him going forward. Basically, and he's not responsible for what happens next. Video package of Lyra Valkyria. Looks like they're trying to the second coming. Okay, the second coming. We've talked about it here on this show extensively. I've exhausted myself in letting my voice be heard that I'm not a fan of how Lyra was just. They had her in some really bad positions, and we can elaborate on it a little bit more. But when they when they had her paired up there with Katana Chance, Kaden Carter, I was not a fan of that whatsoever. Then we had the pause play. You know, some moments we would have her on TV and then she'd be gone for a consecutive string of weeks, and you're like, "Yo, what the hell?" So I wasn't a fan of all of that, but just who all she was paired up with, you're just going, not a good rub off, not a good rub off. You see how Braun Breaker, you particularly look at Bronson Reed, you're going, okay, this is great as far as rubbing off go. These guys, great position. Lyra Valkyria, ever since Becky Lynch pretty much disappeared, not really, can't make that argument for her. So to see this video package that was done of her, and they pretty much have her on screen admit that, you know, hey, things have not gone as planned, and the way that they tried to spin it. Okay, all right, well, we hear you talking. Let's see what happens this next rodeo. So let's see what happens this next rodeo. Love the instant Acme feud touch that we got there of Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods. Xavier Woods instigating just the hothead that he is. Match next week against Otis and Akira Tozawa. Now, you know what? Bold prediction, but I'm going to go out there. I'm going to say New Day loses to Akira Tozawa and Otis. I'm going to say they lose, and Xavier is definitely going to snap. He is definitely going to snap. But good stuff. You know, it was a pretty good show for the most part. Building up Survivor Series, pretty good there. Oh, I almost forgot about Damian Priest bitching the hell out of Gunther, because after Gunther was done talking with Kaiser took off. Gunther just happened to see Damian Priest at a table doing some autographs, and he tried to get the jump on him, and it backfired as Priest took a steel pipe to him. I loved it. Good stuff. Good stuff. Pretty solid show overall. Let's see what you guys had to say about tonight's Raw. Let's first go to X, formerly known as Twitter. Check that joint out over at the RCWR show. Let's see how you guys have voted. Interesting. I'm seeing two ties. I got one tie at 17%. Half of you are saying below average show. Other half, terrible show. And I see a tie at 33% for average show, 33% for awesome show. So a bit all over the place there for that one. Meanwhile, let's see what you guys had to say on YouTube, youtube.com/the RCWR show. Go click on the posts section and vote that way. I actually got to close that and I got to refresh. I hate that you can't really refresh the YouTube app while you're initially looking in there. You pretty much got to close out the app and then go in that way. Okay. Actually, and you know what? We should have posted it a little bit sooner. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe we should have posted a little bit sooner, but I'm not seeing any voting right now on YouTube. And normally by now we get some votes on YouTube. So, but interesting that, and I appreciate everybody that's going to be voting in advance, because usually when I wake up the next day, I see, especially for YouTube, I see a lot of people sound off about the show. But interesting that you guys on Twitter are a little bit all over the place there and how you voted. Very, very interesting. I'm mainly focusing on It definitely look. It wasn't a terrible show. A below average show? No, no. And it's. I wish those that would vote those for those two, I wish they would comment and explain why. But some people just want to be incognito. And then look, you'll have some people that will just be haters. Like they'll hate vote. They will hate vote. I know that's like, wait, what? People will hate vote. But I'm mainly focusing on those that said awesome show to average show. Those are the ones I'm really focusing on. I think it was an awesome show. Overall, though, they're definitely a far better offering than what was given to us last week, which was Veterans Day. I think we definitely call be in agreement on that one. You're checking out the 13th anniversary edition of the RCWR show. Anybody that wants to go ahead and call in, we already put the number up in the chat. So just look at that. You can vote that way. Also, and for those of you that maybe can't access it, 202-982-8277. And look, if you end up calling, be prepared. I'm going to hit the mute button and I'm going to be pre-screening you. I'm just going to be asking, hey, what's your name? Where you calling from? And what do you want to say? What you want to talk about? Kind of get you ready to go. And then that's our way of weeding out trolls because we get them from time to time. Hate trolling. Yeah, I just talked about hate voting. Well, you get your trolls. They love you, but they want to hate you at the same time, as I always say. Hey, man, how about that Mike Tyson, Jake Paul fight? It was funny hearing some people go, oh, gonna do a post show on that one, gonna do a post show. And I'm just kicking back. I'm going, you do know exactly like now look. For those that said, I want to ride the momentum of this Mike Tyson, Jake Paul fight because I think it's going to get me engagements and, social media wise, the clicks, the impressions. Okay. If you're thinking as far as marketing goes, more power to you. But if you weren't thinking that way and then your whole thing was just, I'm going to do a post show talking about, it's kind of like, wait a minute. Wait a minute here. And I could have watched it live on Friday. I could have, but there was two major problems with that. One, I had to do AEW Rampage coverage over on the 401 Mania site. And then two, I was going to hit the road and work for a bit afterwards, for a couple of hours before calling it a night. So it's just kind of one of those, not really panning out too good. Don't really think. So my thought process was, you know what? I'll just go ahead and check it out over the weekend. Lord knows they're probably going to have some technical issues and all that anyway. And turns out they did. I mean, that's expected, especially when it's your first outing. You're trying to fine tune stuff and everything. AT&T Stadium, Arlington, Texas. I mean, great turnout. I thought at one point I heard 72,000 plus that filled that arena. I'm not really sure about that. I want to wait for the official attendance number. I'm curious how they did at the gate. I'm very curious what was the viewership there for Netflix. I want to know the analytics about that and everything. Hopefully we'll have that in another day or so because I haven't seen any information like that yet. But Jake Paul, 27 years old, Mike Tyson, 58 years old, definitely age a factor. Was this gonna go down somewhat similar to Rocky Balboa? Remember that movie, Rocky Balboa? Was it maybe gonna go down in that kind of fashion? Right? Whatever beast you got downstairs, Mike, like go ahead, get it out in the open right now. Uh I honestly knew what to expect, but I didn't know it was gonna be I didn't think it was going to be bad, but I didn't think it was going to be good either. So if you would have told me that Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson was going to be the worst boxing match for this entire card, I would have said to you, For real? Like, I know we got to slow down up there in age Mike Tyson, but worst boxing match? Now, look, not the worst boxing match in history. Man, don't get me wrong. I was talking about it today with some of my classmates, and we all were like, Tyson was good out of the gate. Coming out of the gate, out of that first round, I mean, he had the speed. It was like, where you going, young fella? Come on, I can match you. What's up? What's up? Yeah, I'm looking at that and I'm going, okay, this looks pretty good out of the gate, but I don't know, man. 58 years old. And like I was saying to my wife, I said, Mike Tyson, he loves his weed. And I just don't know if he has fully committed in such a way in regards to his training. It's like I don't really know. And I'm also keeping in mind that we should have gotten this fight a couple of months back, but Mike was dealing with some health issues. So I'm not making I'm not making man, I'm doing the actual show here. Hang on a second here, guys. Hang on a second here. Hang on a second here. Wifey is calling. The girls are acting up. Hang on. Hey, I'm doing the actual show though. So just open the bedroom door, let them roam. Just let them roam. No, no. I said I was gonna go from to 11:15, almost 11:30. So I'm looking at the counter right now. I'm literally at the 50-minute mark. Yeah, just let them roam. All right. Wifey's like, the girls, I think the girls, furry little daughters, they wifey kind of forgot that I did the watch along and now I'm doing the regular show. So I'm not trying to cheat you guys with the regular show here. So um the girls had ate a little bit late today, so I didn't want to feed them until I was done with the show. So um that's the plan. But apparently they have something else in mind. They want to eat now, apparently. So I gave them a decent amount of treats off and on today, and they are just in a little, you know, that's our kids though. What they say goes. But no, going back to Mike Tyson, Jake Paul there. Tyson looked good in that first round, but as I said to my wife, I said, look, he can do all that foot pacing and all he wants, but like you got to conserve that energy. And my main thought process was, okay, well, how's he going to be round 2 and up? Because what was that, 8 rounds, right? I'm going, he's going to blow his whole load in this first round, and then he's going to be staggering afterwards. Jake Paul got in a couple of really good punches to the midsection that just had Tyson. Oh, he is wobbly, like he got rocked. There's no way he's gonna, but it just seemed like with what I was watching was, okay, look, this is the easiest money that we're both gonna make. Let's just take it easy. We're just gonna do a little tiny exhibition bout here, right? It's all fun and games, like we're good. That's how it came off. And to see the end credits at the end, executive producers, Mike Tyson, Jake Paul, I laughed my ass off big time. And I just said, I turned to my wife, I go, look at the executive producer credit. She looks, and we both start busting up laughing. And I just went, thanks for the money, suckers. Right. I mean, because literally they're laughing their way to the bank and cue up the Donald Duck counting the money gift. They're literally laughing their way to the bank. Fool me once, shame on you. As far as Mike Tyson fighting again, I know Logan Paul. I think Ariel Helwani had said something along the lines of, how about Mike Tyson versus Logan Paul? And Logan Paul's like, I think Mike Tyson said, yeah, I'd be down with that. And Logan Paul's like, man, I will kill you. Look, the only way you're going to see Logan Paul and Mike Tyson fight one another is in a WWE ring. I'm telling you guys that right. That is the only way you're gonna be able to see the two of those guys is in a WWE ring. The commentary, by the way, was not a fan. Mauro Ranallo did a really good job. Hands down. He did a really good job. For 54 years old, I know, he the bipolar but he just looks oof. He looked a lot older, didn't he? He looked a lot older. I almost didn't recognize him. Almost. I said almost. But Morrow, it's kind of rough. He lost a lot of weight. That for sure. He lost a significant amount of weight since I last saw him. Rosie Perez, she did not offer anything as far as commentary goes. And I don't need nobody saying I'm being sexist. Look, you get me somebody from the MMA world, boxing world. Look, you get me a Amanda Nunes, you get me a Ronda Rousey, you get me a insert. Hell, give me Muhammad Ali's daughter, Tatiana Ali. You get me her. Like, I'm there. Rosie Perez did not offer anything. And as I was saying to my wife and some friends, even classmates, because we were talking about Rosie's commentary. And I told them all the same thing. I said, look, here's the thing. Rosie Perez, she knows her shit and she talks a really good game on social media. She gives some really good takes on social media. But, now in retrospect, it's like, okay, just because she gives good takes on social media, it does not mean that we need to put her in a commentary position, especially one that is so biased and is, this is somebody that is apparently good friends with Mike Tyson and all that. And it's like, all right, so we know which way this is pretty much gonna go down. Like, seriously, like come on, man. And I'm trying to think about who the other commentator was, but his name it escapes me right now. Maybe you guys can jog my memory in the chat. Don't do it after the show is over. That's not going to help me because I'm already going to go online and look it up, and I'll already have the info. But while we're live, if anybody knows the name of the boxing commentator, let me know. But I like the part there where he and Morrow were going back and forth on what was going on with Mike Tyson's mouthpiece. He's swearing all up and down it's equipment issues. And I'm going, no, man. I've watched enough Mike Tyson fights. That's a tendency that he has. He's now biting into his glove. There's nothing wrong with the mouthpiece. And then Morrow's like, I've watched enough Mike Tyson matches. And look, and this, as far as I know, this was like dude's first time working with Mauro Ranallo. As far as I know, if they have worked more together, that's news to me. But one thing about Mauro Ranallo, if Mauro is telling you, hey, I've watched his career, Mauro studies tapes. So if Mauro is saying, yo, no, this is right, it's not an equipment issue. This is just what he does. You could take that to the bank and cash it, right? Mauro is true to his word. He's not trying to just. And I love the fact that Ariel Helwani was listening the entire time and he was able to ask Mike Tyson afterwards, hey, we kind of know this. And to hear Mike Tyson say, like, okay, yeah, there you go, dude. Shut the fuck up now. Right. Because he was just going on and on. Oh, it's an equipment issue. I'm like, and I was ready for Mauro to go, well, not for nothing, but we've seen when Mike Tyson goes in the corner there, it's almost like you need a crowbar to take that mouthpiece off of him. Like, guys are struggling to take it out of his mouth. Like, so don't think, it's equipment issue there. So, but that was one of the weakest fights of the entire card. I definitely want to give it up to the welterweights and Mario Barrios and Abel Ramos. I love that one. That was really, really good. Barrios coming out, the height, the length, looking really good. Seemed as though he was dominating those first couple of rounds, but Abel Ramos was eventually able to crack that code and started making it very interesting there. I love that match. matchup. That was pretty good. And then, of course, the lightweight Katie Taylor taking on Amanda Serrano, headbutt after headbutt after headbutt. I felt in my heart of hearts that Serrano should have had that. Serrano should have had that, especially when the referee came in there and he deducted points from Katie Taylor. You're like, okay, yeah. So the fact that Katie Taylor was able to escape, was not a fan of that whatsoever. And her manager reminded me a lot of Conan induction speech for Rey Mysterio. I mean, he was fired up. He was bringing it, throwing Katie Taylor and the team under the bus for how they operate, letting it be known that they stay cheating all the fights, always with the headbutts and all that. I feel him when he was saying, look, maybe we should go the MMA. I feel him on that one. Now, look, let's talk about the purse. If the reports are true that Jake Paul got 40 million and Mike Tyson got 20 million, if that's true, Mike Tyson is laughing his way to the bank. He is laughing his way to the bank. So apparently, many viewers that tuned in to the initial live stream, they were unable to watch the fight due to buffering. And then there were many microphones and earpieces that also experienced technical difficulties. You would definitely know this if during Taylor and Serrano, I think it was during that fight, at one point, the bell rung. The referee was just standing there, and then he looks over to the side and he goes, "Did you ring the bell? Was the bell rung?" And he says, "Well, I can't hear." So it's like, ooh, yeah. So there was definitely some issues going on there. Evander Holyfield, he was struggling to hear the host of the show because of issues with his earpiece. And according to the down detector, around 90,000 viewers reported outages in the hour leading up to the fight. So pretty, look, there's always technical difficulties, but for technical difficulties, just the culmination and for it to be at that level, especially for that event, that's pretty heartbreaking to hear. It really, really is. I really hope that most people did like me and just went on ahead once everything was knocked out, just catch the replay. Because if you checked out the replay, I mean, the replay was very smooth, but you could still see Mike Tyson's ass cheeks in all of its glory. I, I, I didn't appreciate seeing that. Reminds me of this scene from a movie. I think it involves Jeff Goldblum. I'm not sure, but there's this black guy. I'll put it up on social media, but there's this black guy that is ass naked, but all he has on is a pair of chaps. And he walks into this room and you're following him. You're wondering what's going on and why his ass cheeks is just hanging out there. And he just bitch slaps the hell out of this guy and walks out. Never says a word. Weirdest sequence in Hollywood history. But that is the Jake Paul, Jake Paul, Mike Tyson. Those are my thoughts about that. So look, if you're on the fence about getting Netflix just to see this, being in and out, I would say you're good. You ain't missing nothing. You're good. If you already got Netflix, you haven't gotten around to seeing it yet. If you're a Mike Tyson fan, I would say whatever your lasting good impressions are of Mike Tyson in the ring and you want to keep that intact, like, don't watch it. Seriously, don't watch it. If you're gonna watch this, watch it for those two matches I mentioned before: Katie Taylor, Amanda Serrano, George Barrios, George Barrios, Barrios taking on Ramos. Other than that, like, you honestly can dodge everything else. Look, that first match that we got on the card, that was better than Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson, and that ain't saying much. By the way, I said to I surprised the hell out of my wife, but it's something that I've been thinking about for over a year and a half now. And I finally revealed it to her, and she took the news pretty well. I said to her, I said, watching Mike Tyson, thinking about the last Rocky Balboa movie, and then, something that I always wanted to do, but I never had the right people in place to help me pull it off. I always wanted to get into boxing. And she goes, "Really?" I go, "Yeah." She's like, "Well, why are you bringing this up now?" And I told her, this was literally last night. I told her, I said, "Well, I know what I want to do for my 45th birthday. I'm turning 44 next month, by the way." I said, "I know what I want to do for my 45th birthday. I know what I want to do at 45. I want to box." And she's like, "Wait, well, what?" I said, I want to box. I just want to do one boxing match just so I can say I've done it." And she's like, "You're serious?" I said, "Yeah, when my mind," and that's the thing, when my mind is made up, anybody that either at one point was a friend of mine or is a friend of mine, family, one thing about me, when my mind is made up to do something, 99.9% it is locked in. That 1% don't do it. Yeah. Yeah. Good luck with that, because extremely rare that I waver on that. And so, no, I told her, I said, yeah, I said, 45, I want to do one boxing match. And so she was like, okay. She's like, "I'm assuming you're going to get a trainer." I was like, "Yes." It's like, "Okay, one match, like one fight. That's it." And she was like, "Okay, well, if you're going to do this, you're going to be training." I said, "Yeah, my plan is to train for a whole year just for one fight, just for one fight." So she goes, "Oh, so your turnaround then, as far as working out and all that, like, you're coming up then on training?" I was like, "Yeah." It's like, as soon as my birthday hits, day after, I'm gonna start training. So she's pretty excited. She's like, "Okay, all right." So I think for her, the gears are already in motion as far as like, okay, who's gonna who's gonna make his team, who's gonna round out his team, and all that good stuff. So I'll keep you guys posted. But no, I'm all in. I'm definitely gonna be doing one boxing joint, just one. That's it. That's it. I've been wanting to box since, true story, just kind of help you guys connect the dots a little more and everything. I have been interested in boxing since I was 12, maybe going on 13. Right down to the point, I remember at my old junior high school, there was a after school program. It was free and everything. It was for boxing. And I remember my mom had took me to this place because there was something going on in the neighborhood. I think I was being picked on by a neighborhood bully or something like that. And this was like way before she gave me some karate. She hooked me up with karate lessons. That was going down at a church. It was offered at a church. Like, they met like every Saturday morning for like about 3 hours. I did pretty good. I advanced pretty quick in there. Taekwondo. I got a white belt, 3 black stripes on that white belt. I excelled pretty good. I did so well that I was promoted to taking the classes with the adults, because I first just started off with just other kids, but I excelled so good. And only reason why that didn't continue on is because my mom got this weird impression, and rather than actually ask the people that work at the karate studio, rather than ask them, "Hey, how's his attendance? Is he?" She worked herself into this frenzy of an impression that I was skipping the classes to go to the arcades, which wasn't true at all. So weird. But before that, I was interested in boxing. Always had been, but I was interested in boxing definitely at that point. She took me after school to see about this boxing program and everything. And I remember the trainer and a couple of kids that were understudies, but mainly the trainer, who was a grown ass man. I remember he was taking these little subtle shots at me verbally. You know, yeah, we'll toughen him up, um, we'll make a man out of him. And yeah, I just remember, and the other kids were, laughing. And I just remember getting that vibe like, okay, so you're putting me down. And I remember telling my mom afterwards, I said, I don't want to take boxing lessons from that place. And then she's like, well, you got to learn how to defend yourself. And I said, yeah, I know. I said, but you didn't get the same vibe I got, which was, they pretty much were making fun of me. And she thought about it a little more. And, she said, well, you bring up a good point. She's like, okay, well, if you don't want to do that place, like, we'll find something else. You shouldn't feel like that. Like, I agree. So that's how we got into karate. But like, I was trying to do boxing as far back as then, believe it or not, as far back as then. And if anything, the past 10 years, I've been wanting to get into boxing more and more. So keep you guys posted, but I'm definitely doing one boxing match and go from there. One of my best friends if I'm not mistaken, one of my best friends did MMA. He was in I'm trying to think, how old was he because he did one MMA match because he just wanted to know what it was like and all that. I think he did it 49, 50, or 51. He lost, but he did pretty good. He did pretty good. Another friend of mine did a boxing match when he was, I think, 48 or 49. I'm trying to understand what was the circumstances of that too. Like it was just so random. Like it wasn't even one of those, well, for many years now. It wasn't even one of those. It was just, I want to do a boxing. And we were like, okay, dude. Like, I guess, whatever. Hey, The Rock, red one. It displaces Venom at number 1 with $34 million. So, I mean, this movie had a budget of over 200 something million dollars, plus an additional $100 million for marketing purposes. And this movie domestically was able to bring in a little bit over $34 million. And it was initially projected they were going to do about $30 million. So the fact that they got 34 plus million and up, hey, that's definitely something to kind of be proud about. But at the same time, you didn't break even. You did not break even. Slightly better than what Dwayne The Rock Johnson did there with the Black Adam movie, but not by much. Not by much. I mean, it's actually no. It's actually not better than Black Adam. It's actually below. It's well below the opening of Black Adam, because Black Adam did almost $70 million opening weekend back in 2022. So what does this tell you? What does this tell you? I saw a funny little image that was running around online where people were saying, hey, this is how The Rock is going to be when he's walking back to the WWE after another failed movie. And you just can't help but go, yeah, for whatever respected reason, like when it comes to these action movies or action comedies, whatever you want to call them, The Rock, it's just, and is that maybe because many viewers have gone, you know what? I'm getting the same Dwayne The Rock Johnson. He's literally just the same guy in every single movie. There's nothing that is drastically different. I got to admit, hearing the synopsis For Red One, it sounded like a very fresh concept. I remember me and some friends were going, it looks really promising. And the fact that Chris Evans got involved, like, okay, yeah, this looks, let's see what happens here. This looks really good. Like, we're rooting for it. We're rooting for this to be successful because it looks really good. But to hear how it's off to a sluggish start, I mean, whether or not you want to say this is a bomb or not, I mean, it came out at a really good time, right? You're definitely capturing the holiday season and everything. Meanwhile, Venom: The Last Dance coming in at number 2 after 3 weeks at the box office. Looks like it had scored 7.4 million, down 54% from Red One's opening. That film is now sitting at, I'm talking about Venom: Last Dance. That film is now sitting at over $127 million domestically and $436 million. So definitely very profitable of a film, as it pretty much had almost a $150 million budget, did Venom: The Last Dance. So, by the way, Deadpool Wolverine is now out on Disney Plus. For those of you that did not watch it yet, I'm going to be checking it out this week. This week for sure, I'll be checking it out. Let's see some other stuff that we can get into here on the show. I mentioned it during the webcast stream. Shout out to those of you that are WWE Supercard fans. Season 11 is well underway, off to a really good start. I like the new game mode Boom that they have that's available, but it comes with a catch. Like, you got to make sure that you have, and I was saying this during the webcast stream, I can't stress it enough. You got to make sure that you have a really strong deck when you go in that game mode, because where you're really able to shine is the stronger your deck is, the higher the odds that you'll be able to string consecutive wins. And to get the better prizes, you gotta have that strong deck. You gotta be able to get those consecutive wins. Cause I promise you, if you go in there with a pretty weak deck, now I'm thinking about like the tiers, because remember they hit us up with like 5 tier levels all at once at the drop of season 11. So, just if you're asking me as a veteran supercard gamer, what deck do I consider to be, you should be all right. You really should not have any issues in boom mode. I would say if you've got the patience and all that, try to shoot for an invasion deck. Try to shoot for a really strong invasion deck. You know what? Even uh I think, see, this is where it's tricky. If you did not get the Undertaker Inferno tier level limited edition cards, because I mean, my God, that was a great event that they did, by the way, especially if you were able to get those Undertaker cards and you were able to get the Undertaker casket equipment, attach that to your Undertaker, and you're looking at, just for power alone, you're looking at almost 90,000. Toughness, you're looking at about 6,500. Speed, you're looking at almost 5,000. Charisma, you're looking at over 5,000. Just think about when you equip that casket card to it, right? I mean, those are some really good numbers. You can definitely do some damage in boom mode. However, if you did not get those Undertaker cards, Inferno is okay, but you really want to shoot for invasion. I personally feel you might be able to get it done if you got a bunch of pro inked cards. You could play around, see how ink does, but I think just to be on the safer side, where it's like flawless win, just guaranteed wins each time, you definitely want to go for invasion. I personally feel. Let's see here. Hey, I got some interesting wrestling news for you guys here. It looks like El Hero del Vikingo, he is off Progress Wrestling Vendetta 2 due to injury. Of course, we remember this because Vikingo got injured, and we talked about it here at the show. He got injured during some TNA tapings. But it looks like in a new update, let me just see what's going on here. Looks like in a update, yeah, Progress Promotion, they basically are just sharing what's going on. They're saying that Vikingo noted that with that injury, he suffered ligament damage, and it looks like he won't be returning to the ring for at least 20 days, if even that. If even that. So hopefully Vikingo just really takes his time and just don't come back almost at 100%. Don't rush it. Come back beyond 100%. Come back 120% just to really, really make sure, he's all good and everything. Wow. And on an interesting note, you guys remember we dubbed him as a wrestling community. We dubbed him Fake Batista. Barry Griffiths. Y'all remember him? Looked like Batista. Mason Ryan. Mason Ryan. That was his name. I can't believe this guy is still being interviewed and pretty much the same type of stuff, same type of questions is being brought up from way back in the day. But apparently, there's a new interview that he did with the guys over at Metro, and where he's reminiscing about his WWE run. And I mean, he was only in WWE for a quick cup of coffee. It was from 2011 to 2014. If you want a really good interview to check out, it was one of the first interviews that we did within the first 5 years of this show's existence. Go on YouTube, type in RCWR show Mason Ryan. Type that in. Um, Wide ranging topics. We went all over the place. That was a really, really good interview. And I'm not just saying that. I'm not just saying that. I remember a lot of wrestling media outlets back then, they had picked up on that interview that we did. All the wrestling websites back in the day, they picked up on it. And it was a great honor talking with um, the man formerly known as Mason Ryan. It was one of my first outings as far as like post production, trying to figure out overlay layouts and all of that, graphics to use and everything. I remember how nervous he was when it came to the interview, because my wife way back then, she helped me out big time when it came to securing interviews. 'Cause she just has a nice natural way of talking with people. And one of the great things that she does very well is, hey, just that nice personal friendly touch, saying how they're doing, and asking them, hey, is there any questions that you kind of want us to steer clear from, and all this other stuff. And I remember there's something in particular that Mason was concerned about. I think it was kind of one of those, hey, look, I'm not trying to be in a got you situation. Um, I have nothing really but positive things to say about my run in WWE. I'm not trying to get into some scandalous stuff or whatever. And I remember in her correspondence with him via email, she said to him, well, don't worry, I can vouch for Lee. And at that point, we still were just dating. And she's like, but we were engaged. If I'm not mistaken, we were engaged. And she's like, he's my fiance. It's like, I can tell you, you're in good hands. He's a really, really nice guy. He's a sweetheart. You'll be all right. And when Mason heard that, he was just, you know, I got a different, like whatever reservations, like whatever was going on, like we were good. And he enjoyed the interview. I made sure afterwards he was good with it. He really liked it and everything. And it's interesting, it's just interesting that on the 13th anniversary here of this show, that Mason Ryan semi kind of makes the news a little bit, but sadly, it's the same regurgitated stuff. Like, been there, done that. Like, we've already, let's ask him more about the circus delay wrestling stuff that he's doing. Because for those of you that don't know, that's what he's been doing all these years. I've been keeping tabs on him, and he's really coming to his own as a wrestler. WWE gave a little bit more details on their Netflix premiere. We found this information out on tonight's Monday Night Raw, as they are going to be at the Intuit Dome in Los Angeles, California, January 6th. Now, tickets go on sale to the general public this Friday. However, there is a which kid are you? I'm trying to guess. Which kid are you? You feel like Chloe. Yes, you are Chloe. And hey, little buddy, my daughters are in here. I think this is their way of saying you about to wrap it up, right? Yeah, we're about to wrap it up. Los Angeles, California. Yeah. So there is the sale for the general public this Friday. But there's a pre-sale that's going to go down Wednesday. Everything is through Ticketmaster. So shout out to my people in the area. Also, there is a new Travis Scott music that's going to serve as the new Raw theme song. So a lot unveiled. I remember seeing the snippet tonight going, oh, this is nice. So they doing big things, WWE. I'm very excited. That is one positive thing I will say when I go back and I think about the boxing that was on Raw, the boxing on Raw. Yeah, it would be something. But when I go back and think about the boxing that was on Netflix over the weekend, my God, WWE is going to fit on Netflix so well. So damn well. I can't wait. I cannot wait. Let's see. Anything else we can get into here on the show? By the way, I finally had put together the Jerry Cantrell album review for I Want Blood. Shout out to those of you that's gone out of your way to check that out. And I tell you what, you guys are so sweet, because, and I sincerely, I mean that. I'm not joking. You guys are very sweet, because the original upload that I put out, for whatever weird reason, I think it was a 780p quality version. And I'm just like, no, what I shot was 4K. What the hell? Like, this doesn't make any sense. Not to mention, one of the images did not render properly. So for like about 30 seconds, you see like this error red screen, and I said, oh, I'm not feeling that. Let me go back, and I actually corrected it. I made sure that the 4K version, for what I intended, is what viewers got. So I uploaded it twice, long story short. But you guys, not only are you showing the 4K version a lot of love, but you guys really, the SD version, you guys are just blowing that up. So I appreciate you guys that went out of your way, and you're showing that a lot of love. I'm very excited to see Jerry Cantrell in concert next year. That's going to be my very first time seeing Jerry Cantrell live in person. As huge of an Alice in Chains fan that I am, I sadly never got to see Alice in Chains with Lane Staley. I never got to see him in concert. I've yet to see the band with William Duvall in concert. Every time I turned around, something just always got in the way. And so I made a promise to myself when I got a bit older, and for sure when I put myself more in a position where, okay, I can take time and I can go do this. I can live life, basically. I said, I'm gonna get out there and I'm gonna do my best to do more concerts, go to more concerts. So I'm happy that I'm going to be seeing Jerry Cantrell next year. Also going to be seeing Boney James. That's a talk about wide range of diversity there in a changing course of music. So like February of 2025, I'll be seeing Jerry Cantrell, right? So that's rock, kind of almost riding metal a little bit, but definitely hard rock. And a few months after that, Boney James, which is just straight up jazz. So that's like a huge 180 that we got going on there. I know in AEW, Tony Khan is being reported that he's thrilled. He's going to be using Guns N' Roses for AEW Full Gear. Remember, Full Gear, that's going to be coming up. What is it? Is it this weekend? My God, right before Thanksgiving, right? Let me look at the calendar real quick. Because I kind of remember November 23rd. Yeah, yeah, Full Gear is going to be on Saturday. Let me look here. I was getting ready to type in November Rain. I was getting ready to say AEW November Rain. That is just the funniest shit. That is the funniest shit. Oh God. I bet he is excited though, that he's gonna be able to use that and everything. But if I'm not mistaken, Saturday, November, 23rd, Prudential Center. So here's how that card is looking right now. And as far as match predictions and all that goes, we'll save that. We'll save that. I think I might maybe make that be a YouTube short or something like that. So be on the lookout. I'm trying to get back into doing more shorts on YouTube because it's just quick, bada bing, bada boom, get the thoughts out there. But the way it's looking right now, we've got Big Boom. Oh no, that motherfucker. Costco Big Boom. Oh my God. Who in 20? Who? Anyway, Big Boom AJ versus QT Marshall. MJF versus Roderick Strong. Jay White versus Hangman Adam Page. Private Parties, Isaiah Cassidy and Mark Quinn versus the Outrunners versus Kings of the Black Throne versus the Acclaimed. Four-way dance for the AEW World Tag Team titles. Mercedes Moné faces Chris Statlander for the TBS Championship. Meanwhile, Swerve Strickland takes on Bobby Lashley. Jack Perry defends the TNT Championship against Daniel Garcia. Will Ospreay faces Cal Fletcher one-on-one. And your main event, Jon Moxley defends the AEW World Championship against Orange Cassidy. Wow, no Chris Jericho on this card, huh? No Chris Jericho on this card. Interesting. No Chris Jericho. 9 matches. That's how the card is looking right now. Wonder if a little bit more is going to be added, though. That's the thing. If it stays where it is right now, I mean, look, there's some good. I'm not going to lie. There's some good matches on here where I'm going, that should be good. Will Ospreay, Cal Fletcher really jumps out to me off the break. That could potentially be a match of the year candidate. We'll see. But that has the potential to be a really, really good match. Jack Perry, Daniel Garcia. That's another one I'm looking at. That fatal 4-way for the tag titles. That looks very promising. MJF and Roderick Strong should be that should be very interesting. And I'm just saying that either. I'm not just saying that, but that should be a very interesting matchup. So they got some good stuff here on the card, but they definitely got to bring in a couple of surprises. We need a little bit more than Big Boom AJ. We need a little bit more than the Costco guy. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see with that. Let's see. Other than that, I think as far as wrestling related news, I'm looking here And unless there's something, wrestling news or entertainment news that you want me to get into, it is it's looking kind of quiet here. Nothing monumental went down here. What the hell was that noise? Hmm. I'm not seeing anything here that's really noteworthy. I mean, I'm looking. Indy Hartwell seems to be doing pretty good with the WWE departure and all that. I like how she's got that fire lit under her ass. And I mean, that's great. But I mean, my whole thing is this, just to push back a little bit. My whole thing is, you know, that's great that you got a fire lit under your ass, but like, shouldn't that fire have already been lit under your ass? Where was that fire before? Right? So, but if you were to spin it to me in a way where you're going, look, the fire was always there, but I was never really put in a position where I could, because I felt shackled or I felt okay. All right, I feel you. I feel you. Don't forget, AEW Winter is coming. It's going to be going down in December. I would like to believe that somehow Sting is going to be incorporated with that. Because, I mean, not for nothing, but when you think about when Sting debuted in AEW, Winter is coming. That's where it all had went down. So, new trial date has been set for Ted DiBiase Jr.'s fraud case. According to WJTV, they're reporting that a hearing was held on Friday before the Mississippi Southern District, and a new trial has been set for August of 2025. Report notes that DiBiase filed a motion there to find new representation as his current legal team works for a firm who represented someone else years ago that is also involved in the welfare scandal DiBiase is being charged under. So, I mean, that's kind of a no-brainer right there, all things considered. Very curious to see how all of that plays out. Why is my leg itching? Oh, that's my furry little daughter. Yeah, relatively quiet. I'm seeing for the past few days. Since last we were on the air. I know that WWE has signed a few more prospects to their ID program, and that's good for them and everything. I know if you are a hardcore fan of the independent scene, that's great. Like, I mean, that's good for you. That's great for some of your favorites. It's nice to be able to say, "Hey, I remember seeing this person on the weekends at this." You can't help but feel really proud and happy when you see some of these guys that are getting involved with this ID program and all that. Like, you just go, yeah, that's what's up. Keep going forward. That's what's up. 2 new matches has been set for Josh Barnett's Bloodsport 12. This is the card so far. We've got MVP versus Josh Barnett, and we know how that all had came about. So that should be pretty damn good. We got Dominik Guarini taking on Kevin Koo. Masha Slamovich faces Li Ying Lee. Say that 10 times fast. Charlie Dempsey against Akira. Speedball Mike Bailey going up against Josh Alexander, while Marina Shafir takes on Jody Threat. Carmen Petrovic faces Sumi Sakai. Lou Nixon takes on Bad Dude Tito, and Miles Bourne takes on Royce Isaacs. And that bloodbath, Blood Sport 12 event, that is going to be airing on Triller TV November 24th. So nice little fun weekend. You got your AEW and then you got your Blood Sport. take your pick. Some nice fun stuff that you'll be able to get into this coming weekend. So good stuff. Yeah, and yeah, we're already like about a week. I'm just looking at my show notes, trying to see if there's anything like noteworthy to really bring to you guys' attention. And like, nah, we're pretty much caught up to speed here. So look, I gotta say, and we got like about 20 or so that's checking out the stream right now. I appreciate that. I appreciate everybody that's tuning into the broadcast. Appreciate that. Much love. As I get ready to close out, just a couple of things come to mind right now. One, to be in this position where 13 years later, here I am. I'm still here. I'm doing this show, thinking about those that along the way, you know, did a show for a year or did a show for 2 years, and yeah, and then they're like never heard from again. It's kind of one of those type of deals. Um, I'll never forget when I had a conversation with my wife, and at that time, we were dating, and then we got engaged. I remember at the time I told her, um, shortly, after we first started dating and all that, I said to her, you know what? I want to do a podcast. And she goes, huh? I said, yeah, I want to do a podcast. And I remember at that point, I was just all over the place. My brain, it was seriously, my brain, it was just all over the place. I want to do this and I want to do that. I want to do this. I want to do that. And I'll never forget, she said to me, she goes, well, I tell you what, whatever you decide to do, and in this case, podcasting, okay, well, if you're going to do it, please stick to it, see it all the way through, and dedicate yourself. 13 years later, I'm still doing the show. So, yeah, and by doing this show, it's afforded me so many great opportunities. Um, Interviewing people who I grew up idolizing, the great friends that I've been able to make along the way, associates. For some of the friends, I gotta say, and I wouldn't be honest, insightful, interactive. I wouldn't be honest if I didn't say this. Sometimes my heart breaks a little bit over some of the friends that I've made over the years. And how can I say this without, well, you know what? I'll just put it out there. I've always been outspoken. For some people, maybe it's a little too outspoken, but it breaks my heart a little bit where some people who I think highly of, I think the world of, I look at them as friends when I need them the most, input or whatever, or just they're not there. And yet they want me to be there for XYZ of whatever. Or I gotta stop what I'm doing because, but when it's my turn, and it's not like I'm asking, you know, what I'm asking for isn't, I could just, hey, could you check this out? It would mean the world to me if you could check this out. And I do that out of respect, is because I have such high regard, and it's not reciprocated. And it breaks my heart, but I just internalize it and I keep pushing forward. And it's just like, I gravitate towards those that are gravitating towards you, and everything is just for a reason. I've just gotten to a point where as I've gotten older, it's like my tolerance for the bullshit and consistency in my friends, and just, it's like I'm at a point where it's just like I don't need that drama. I really don't. I really don't. It's like you're either in my circle or you're not. If you're not in my circle, nothing but love. I got nothing but respect for you. Like, cool. I know how to keep up pleasantries. I know how to say hello and how's the family and but it's like you're not gonna get me to bend over backwards. Like, no, you're gonna scratch my back first, then I'm gonna scratch yours. Cause I know damn well for a fact I'm gonna scratch your back. But I need you to scratch mine first, because every time I scratch your back first and it's time to get mine, you ain't hooking me up. I like, nah, we ain't doing that no more. But yeah, one big thing that I would have to say over these 13 years is how much I have developed just as an individual. Because I gotta tell you guys, when I first started this show, very antisocial. And I really mean that. You hear a lot of people and no definition of antisocial. Like I didn't like talking to people. Um, I didn't care for interacting. It's pretty much just give me my family. That's it. Give me my immediate friends and family. That's it. I'm not interested in talking to strangers and so very introverted. So to be able to really flesh all of that out to all these years later, and I'm still learning different things about myself. Every day it's always something new. And then to go on this incredible journey these past couple of years where I have been back to college and I'm learning what I'm learning in radio production. I'm learning what I'm learning in television production and basically incorporating all of this. You're right. And it's been amazing. I got to tell you, it's been amazing. So let the good times continue to roll. 13 years. That's wow is all I have to say. Wow. I'm amazed at how much time has flown by. I've got people that were either in junior high, high school, about to go to college that began listening to me. I got people who they either now have kids and like by coincidence they've got their kids listening to me. So it's like wow, so two generations grow, growing up. It always just makes me smile because I know the names when I see them, especially if they jog my memory by telling me certain things, and it's like, oh yes, yes. So it's it warms my heart to see that. It really, really does. I always get asked in regards to podcasting, hey, I'm thinking about going into podcasting. What's the number one piece of advice that you would give me? What's the number one piece of advice you can give me? And I pause, I think about it for a second, and I say, well, I'll give you two things: quality versus quantity, because it doesn't matter how many shows you put out each and every single week. If you're not putting the time into the quality, forget about it. I don't care if you do a show 6 times a week. If you're not putting care into the quality of that show, formatting and just all of that, everything that goes to it, yeah, no. And you have to be dedicated. You gotta stick with it. If you're serious about it, you gotta stick with it. And you can be a small show that has great quality. And yeah, you might not be pulling in big bombastic numbers when you're live, or even when you're on demand or on the downloads, but people notice. There are people that notice those small shows and they like the fact that it's a small show because they get to make the argument of, hey, I was checking out this show for all these years. It was a small show. because we're in a day and age now where the only way, sadly, some listeners can get the host's attention, got to do a super chat or they got to make a donation. That's the only way their existence can be acknowledged. Fuck that. I'm never going to do that to you guys. I'll let you know I'm taking contributions and all that, and whether or not you can make a donation. Like, I mean, it's not the end of the world. It's not the end of the world. I was asked again, hey, now that you're about, I'm telling you, my life as I know it, it is going to change drastically in the next 6 to 7 months. Drastically. I am at the home stretch and obtaining my associate's degree in media broadcasting and journalism. I've got literally two more classes that I need to take. That's it. Then I get my degree. So I did a big bulk of the classes this fall for this respective semester. I did, I was like, you know what? Let's get as many as we can out the way. That way I can really just breathe the following semester. And that's pretty much what I'm able to do. So the way this is looking right now, and I'm still waiting to hear back from one of my classes because I need an override to try to get into one class particularly, and hopefully they'll have me. If not, it's still good because when it's all said and done, I still just need 2 more classes. It's just I won't be able to do the class that I'm trying to get an override for. There's a math class I'm going to be taking for the upcoming spring semester. I need 1 more science class. And the way some of these science classes are set up, they pretty much are like, no, prerequisite, you have to complete this math class here. So a lot of the science classes are kind of doing that, but some they let you try to get permission from the department. So if I'm able to get that permission, great. But regardless, 2 more classes, then I'm done. I got my degree. There's already underway a lot of moving parts that's going on. As far as like, okay, what are we doing? Like from try to hit up this joint for an internship, try to see what's going on with these people over here, network over here. Like there's already a lot of moving pieces that's going on here. And I'll be totally transparent with you guys. Depending on the employer I end up hooking up with, I don't know if they'll allow me to continue to do this show. If they allow me to continue to do this show, I would imagine there's going to be certain restraints that'll be put on me on this show. Profanity for starters. So if you kind of notice, I'll, but I've tried to scale back drastically on the profanity. I think that's the number one. That's the number one thing is the profanity. But I don't know. I if you were to ask me, I want to continue to do the show. I want to continue to do the show for as long as possible. But at the same time, I want to know when it's a good time to dip out. I don't want to be doing this show. I'm not picturing doing this show in my 70s. I'm having a hard time picturing myself being 60 and still doing this show. As far as the next 10 years, yeah, I can easily see that. I can easily see that. But I want to time it just right where, okay, now we dip. Don't want to overstay my welcome. That's the nicest way I can put it. So, and I think as long as you guys are continuing to support, and you guys do, you guys support in your own unique way, whether you represent live, and for those that tune in live, just the amount of competition that's out there, and you guys dedicate yourselves to checking out the stream when it's live. I appreciate that. Even those that I'm doing whatever you're doing, what you represent, and you check out the stream once it's made available on demand and the downloads. I appreciate that, right? You all always represent. So I love it. I love what we've been doing here all these years. And, we can just let it continue to rock on. And I'm like this for those that continue to support me, support the show, I love you. Seriously. To those that at one point supported the show, were fans of the show, I appreciate you. I love you still. To those that I don't know whether it's they fell out of favor or I don't know. I don't know what's going on with them. Appreciate you, you know. And we gonna keep rocking. We gonna keep rocking. We gonna keep doing our thing here like we've been doing since 2011. And that's always keeping it honest, keeping it insightful, keeping it interactive. That's how we're gonna continue to do it. And I am looking to push the production level of this show like a mother in the year to come with all the stuff I've been learning, particularly this fall semester. There's a lot of stuff that's happening behind the scenes that you guys are going to be liking from a production value standpoint. But I've teased a little bit here and there, but because I've actually showed my hand just a tiny little bit in what I'm thinking about. But there's a whole lot of cool stuff we're going to be implementing coming in the new year. WWE's doing some stuff in 2025. We got some stuff cooking behind the scenes for 2025. So I'm very excited for that. As I always close out this show, I always say, be kind, rewind, check out previous episodes you may have missed. I am thinking about you guys for this Thanksgiving holiday that's coming up. We're going to have the Vince McMahon omnibus that'll be made available for you guys. So be on the lookout for that. I'm also seeing if maybe we could also somehow put together something right before Thanksgiving. I know Tams wants to do Wrestling with the Topics this Wednesday. So we're actually going to do that live for you guys, because she was like, yo, and she came to me. So that was kind of cool. She's like, hey, we need to do Wrestling with the Topics. I was like, oh, yeah. I said, well, I don't think I'm going to have class on Wednesday because my professor is doing something. So I'm pretty sure no class Wednesday. She's like, well, that's great because I'll be here. I'm off. So let's do a show. I'm like, okay, let's do a show. So it's nice. It's nice to have the lady say, when are we going to do the show? So we're going to do that Wednesday for you guys. I'll look at the analytics and figure out what time we'll be able to do that. But as long as you're staying connected on social media, you guys will get the notification, all that good stuff. But truly, for those of you that continue to support me in the shows, I really, it means a lot. I'm noticing in this day and age, there's just a lot of fakeness going on, a lot of bullshit, fake ass people. There really is. They smile, they talk a good game. You think that they're your friend, and they just, it's not no backstabbing. I'm not talking about backstabbing, but it's just, I'm learning how some people operate. It's kind of one of those, what can you do for me? How can I benefit? And it's a very terrible feeling, I gotta say. It's kind of one of those, don't act like that. That's it in a nutshell. Like, don't operate like this person. And that's not me. You guys can try to wonder who he's talking about. It's like, I'm never going to tell, because I'm old school like that. If I got something I need to get off my chest, like, I'm one of those face to face, always have been. I'm face to face, or I'll pick up a phone. Like, I know how to, so, yeah. Get at me on social media. Use the keywords, the RCWR show. And until next go around, my pretty babies, wishing all y'all to be safe. Most importantly, be kind to one another. I will see you guys next go around. Adios, y'all. Take care.